joy when I think of my daughter's birthday, because now she gets to keep having them.
This is Rogers TV.
And a good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to tonight's Rogers TV broadcast between the Newfoundland Growlers and the Adirondack Thunder from CBS Arena. The Growlers are a perfect 5-0 after last night's 4-1 win. Looking for win number 6 tonight. I'm Bill Hart, along with Ben Dropkick Murphy, and fans have also something else to look forward to tonight.
They certainly do. Nathan Knowles, St. John's native and former St. John's Cap, draws into the lineup tonight, making his home debut for the Newfoundland Growlers. 2 assists so far in 3 games this season.
All right, we're going to throw it to ice level for the national anthems. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back inside Conception Bay South Arena. Temporary new home for your Newfoundland Growlers as they look to extend their season-opening winning streak to 6 games with hopefully another solid performance here tonight against the ECHL affiliates of the New Jersey Devils, the Adirondack Thunder. Here's tonight's starting lineup for your Newfoundland Growlers. In goal tonight, wearing number 34, is Evan Cormier. On the blue line to kick off the evening, he scored a pair last night, number 22, Noel Hoffenmeyer. He'll play alongside number 5, Brennan Kapchek. At center tonight is Ty Pelton-Weiss, wearing his trademark 17, and he will be flanked by the Super Noofs, number 9, Marcus Power, and number 10, Zach O'Brien. Tonight's referee, the same as a night ago, it's number 26, Alex Normand, and the linesmen are Sheldon Keogh and Mark Day, and we are underway, and the tunes are still rocking here as the Growlers win the opening face-off. That's Hoffenmeyer with possession inside his own zone, off the stick of O'Brien and into the left wing corner, collected back by the Adirondack Thunder. Here's an opportunity. O'Brien a drive, and that's stopped by the starting goaltender of the Adirondack Thunder. Same as a night ago, it's Merrick's Mittens as O'Brien carries in. Cross ice feed, that one stolen away. Now here come the Thunder trying to counter back. LeBerge had that one roll off the end of his stick, and Brennan Kapchak flips it into the opposite side corner. Hoffenmeyer pulls it dangerously off the end boards, but the Growlers do clear the zone. What a pass by Marcus Power to find Zach O'Brien. Knocked off the stick of O'Brien. 1 minute gone here in the first period. The Growlers maintain possession amidst a line change. There's McCourt, sends one in wide of the cage. Loose in the right wing corner. John Stone did a lot of heavy lifting in that exact corner a night ago. unable to come away with this puck as it's going to be taken away by Ryan Smith off the boards and held in again by Nathan Knoll, making his first Growlers appearance in his home province. Big hit thrown there by Knoll, trying to make a difference quickly in this one as the Growlers dump it in. Johnstone giving chase, unable to come away with the puck. It rolls toward the line and is chipped out by Robbie Payne. On the forecheck, trying to get it back for Newfoundland is Green. He'll come away with it. Johnson. Isaac Johnson trying to pass. A nice flat stick by the defender. Keeps that one away from the goal. 18-18 to go here in the first period. One shot so far for Newfoundland. No score. Chris Ballard and Kellyanne Roberts on the call of tonight's game on Rogers. Thanks for joining us on Eastlink, on Flow Hockey, and on Mixler. Let us know where you're tuned in from. Pass there and away comes Isaac Johnson. Gordy Green across for Johnson. A little stutter step at the blue line. And the boys go in offside with 17:53 to go in the first.
Growlers really showing what they can do in the offensive zone here. I mean, we're just under 2 minutes into the game, and the pucks only come outside of that zone a handful of times, and it really hasn't hit much past center ice there as they go for this face-off just outside of the Thunder zone once again.
Kelton Weiss on the draw. It's one across the ice and collected by the Thunder. Cross ice for Blake Thompson, the left-handed rear guard. In over the line, snaps it in. Having a look there is Cormier. He'll spin a backhand pass for Brennan Kapchek, who moves it ahead. Nice feed for Hoffenmeyer. He'll join the rush. His pass, that one missed everybody off the inboards for an icing with 17:32 remaining here in the first period. I had a chat with Brennan Kapchek, and the boys were making fun of him. They were looking over the game notes in the hallway, and they were said, "Oh, Cappy, you gotta." They pointed to his penalty minutes. He leads the team in penalty minutes. The scrappy little defenseman. They said they're going to have their eye on you tonight. They said it in jest, but I think there's more truth to that than they might think, as there's an opportunity right off the face-off for Grasso of the Adirondack Thunder, but stopped and held. No rebound by Cormier.
Kapchek might lead the team in penalty minutes there, but offensive ability, him and Hoffenmeyer being a pairing out there is very interesting, considering both of them are guys that like to move with the puck. I mean, they do a good job at those first breakout passes there, but they're, again, not afraid to go in deep with it. So interesting to see them paired together. Usually you have a defensive defenseman with an offensive defenseman.
Not in the lineup tonight. Scramble in next to the goal. Adirondack buzzing for that game's opener, but instead it's going to be stolen, and Nathan Knowles on his horse, and he throws an offensive check at the same time, still has the puck. Knowles spins his defender into the ice. A little ankle breaker there, but the Growlers cannot maintain possession, and look at Mark Johnstone, helps free it back up for Knoll. Knoll into the right wing corner, trying to find an open man. He's going to recover that puck. Got clipped by an Adirondack forward, loose in front. The Growlers hold the line as Bafia whipped it across. There's McCourt, dances around his man. Sent just wide of the cage, battling hard to free it up. There is Johnstone, had his stick lifted, and away come the Thunder. Taken back by Luke Bafia. He'll spin it back in his own end. That's Riley McCourt, the former Flint Firebird, under current Growlers head coach Eric Wellwood, but that's going to be an icing. Shots now 2-1 in favor of Adirondack, but still no score.
No surprising to see that the Thunder really have the advantage on the shots here right now, considering we haven't seen much offense from them yet, despite the play coming back into the Growlers zone right now. We've really seen mittens tested last night. We'll likely see that again tonight.
I think you're right. Face off to the right of Cormier. Todd Skirving, sporting his signature, facial hair that he calls the Skirv.
Is there a name for it?
I get it. You can name your facial hair anything, I guess. Well, I mean, I don't know. Should I name my mustache the Ballard? I sure don't think so.
Whatever floats your boat.
That does not do it. Play continues as the Adirondack Thunder chip it in deep behind the net. Oren Centazzo picks it up. Chip to the line. That'll be held in by the Thunder. Sent right back down low. A broken stick there in the corner, wreaking some havoc. Nice play by Melindy to knock the shards of carbon fiber out of the way, and there's a long feed ahead, too far for Isaac Johnson. Almost able to pick it up off the inboards as Melindy follows up with a nice hit on Kaplan as LaBerge flings one toward the front of the cage. That one wide. Growlers look to turn it back. What a pass. That one, poke checked away. Behind James Melindi. Good recovery there by the captain. Flipped to center ice, and again, Adirondack steals, turning this into a mini 3-on-2. Through the middle, MacArthur, a backhand. Back out in front. Everybody scrambling in the puck. Ends up wide of the cage. Melindi behind the net, out the other side for Tristan Pomerleau. He'll lift it into the air. A bouncer at center, off a shin pad. It lands right on the center ice line, picked up by Marcus Power. He'll send it into the offensive zone, but Jimmy Mazza able to reel it back in for the Thunder, but they give it right back to Brennan Kapchak. Patient with the puck there, Pomerleau. He'll turn it over. Back comes Long. Cross ice feed, that's off the glass, knocked down and played behind the net. Adirondack remains inside the offensive zone. Pete MacArthur, the captain, pulls it away, tries to center it into the high slot for Robbie Payne. That's stolen and lifted away by Nathan Knoll. I gotta say, Nathan Knoll, when he first suited up in his first few games on the road, I was surprised at just how good he was on his feet. He's a wonderful skater. Might be one of the more talented skaters on this hockey club, and just how determined he was in his own zone. He really plays a solid 200-foot game.
Aggressive and not afraid to really get in there and throw his weight around, even though there might not be a lot of it compared to some of the guys on the ice there. He's not afraid of anything, and he's got a lot of good puck control.
Puck comes away out of the corner. A good stick lift there by Skirving, but he comes up empty-handed. As the Thunder make their way to center, a loose puck between the legs of Hoffenmeyer. That's going to be poked in deep. Cormier's got to be careful to play it away from that broken stick down there, but a beautiful play sends that one the length of the ice, but not far enough for an icing. 14 minutes remaining here in the opening period. Still 2-1 are the shots in favor of the Thunder. Play pretty even so far here at CBS Arena between the Growlers and the Adirondack Thunder. And here come the Growlers. Cross ice feed and a beautiful one tipped in, and Gordy Green's got it. Tries the sharp angle. Oh, what a recovery on the rebound as Todd Skirving looks for his second of the year. Denied by Mittens. The Thunder look up ice. That pass connects. Kaplan swings back just inside his own blue line. Quick lap and heads it right back in. LaBerge into the air off the inboards behind Cormier. Picked up by McCourt. He'll settle it back. Looks up ice and starts it ahead. That's Luke Bafia. Through the middle. Nice pass off the tape of Pelton Bice. And in deep. Trying to turn it back quickly is Joe Masonis. The defender carried up ice, left it on the right wing side, and a nice hit thrown there by Pomerleau to knock his man off stride. Picked up by the Thunder, a quick backhand, stopped by Cormier. Second opportunity, that one ripped over the cage. Comes toward the line, held in again by Adirondack. They've got some pressure here the last few moments. O'Brien can't get it out, it's off his stick, into the air. A tough one to field by Cormier, but he managed to do so, and the Growlers play it ahead. Marcus Power for Ty Pelton Bice. Pelton Bice down the left wing side, has some options, cuts behind the net, centers. There's Melindi centering try again, and a penalty coming up to the Adirondack Thunder as Zach O'Brien is hauled to the ice. Hooking is the call. So with 12:30 remaining here in the first period, the first power play of the game belongs to Newfoundland.
All right, good evening. We are scoreless in the first period. Bill Hart and Ben Murphy with you. Just want to let you know we're having some technical difficulties with that game clock. Scientists have it called. People are kicking machines and trying to do their best. They're yelling at as many pieces of wiring as they possibly can. Nathan Knowles, first home game tonight.
Yeah, it's his first chance to draw in front of this hometown crowd after missing last night's game. 2 assists so far in 3 games this season. And in his first couple shifts so far tonight, he's looked good.
Yes.
Making an impact early on, really moving his feet, moving the puck, and was generating some chances in the offensive zone there. Another local guys I want to talk about, Marcus Power and Zach O'Brien.
Yes.
Bill, these two have been playing together their entire lives.
Yeah.
They were buzzing last night, lots of scoring chances all throughout the night. It's only a matter of time before these two start to fill the net and start to fill the score sheet. They're going to look to make an impact there tonight.
Very exciting times. All right, we're throwing it back now to Chris Ballard and Kellyanne Roberts as this broadcast continues on Rogers TV.
With the power play here, I don't believe they've scored a 5-on-4 power play goal.
No, I mean, their percentage right now in the power play is 7.7%. Mind you, it is 12.5 at home, so
That's
up
true.
a little bit. I mean, I think it's 1 for 8 at home. So
I love your
we're
optimism.
We're gonna go with the positivity here. Of course, you got Johnson on the back end here, who's typically a forward, but when he's shooting 50%, why not pull it back to quarterback?
Tied for the team lead in shooting percentage is Isaac Johnson with Oren Centazzo. The faceoff won by Newfoundland. Puck almost left in no man's land, but there's Centazzo to reel it back in. Into the corner, that's Chizowski. Up top, held in by Kapchak. The Growlers, here they come. An opportunity, a great block of the pass there. That was almost a tap-in. Growlers still have it. Gordy Green puts it out in front, clear to the line, held in by great stick by Centazzo, but his pass blocked away, and he's hauled down. No call there. I saw a bunch of fans even in the building put their hands up. Some amateur referees here as the Growlers in front of the goal. It's still loose. They score! Off a body and in. There's a power play goal. 11:51 to play in the first. 1-0 Newfoundland. Gordy Green leading the charge back to the bench. He's gonna get credit.
The Thunder looking to contest that one there, but it was themselves looking to clear the puck, catching a body of the Growlers, and really get backfired on them in the entire sense of the play there.
Yeah, a clearing attempt literally just whacked off of Gordy Green and ended up over top of the sprawling Merrick's mittens. 1-0 Newfoundland. Are they now Alex Lowe having a very spirited chat with the referee, mask pulled down, a lot of his players on his feet, but I'm not sure what the argument is here. We got a 1-0
How you
lead.
can argue that one a whole lot there, especially if you're clearing it, unless they're going to say he's in the crease, open interference, but
Not unlikely,
yeah.
but not much left to argue about. A 1-0 Newfoundland here as we approach the halfway point of the period. Cleared away by Adirondack. Hands in the air. This one's going to be an icing as Luke Bafia wins the race back. Nathan Knoll having a little chirp with Carrier down there, and I love Knoll's game. I absolutely do. He seems like he's got a little bit of that Newfoundland pest in him, and I mean that in every positive sense of the word.
He just truly enjoys the game, so I think whatever fun he can take out of it, he's going to. And if that's getting under another player's skin, it's almost a bonus, I think, at that end, because now we've got Melindy also exchanging words with Carrier. So not surprising that the two Newfoundlanders on the ice right now are going to give everyone a sense of their mind.
I absolutely love it. Shots are 4 apiece, but the Growlers have a 1-0 lead. Let's see if we can get the details on the goal here. Face-off coming up to the right of Mittens. Back to 5 aside after the Growlers' power play goal, and almost a collision there. Oh, Nathan Knoll takes a big check there by his man Carrier, but it's held in at the line. They gave the goal to Chizowski. Gordy Green picks up a helper. So Chizowski gets credit from Gordy Green as the Adirondack Thunder again send this one in deep. Inside the Newfoundland zone, Todd Skirving. A nice backhand flip pass. Oh, and a big hit there, but Nathan Knoll managed to chip it behind Jimmy Mazza and pick up the loose puck. He spun around there. Todd Skirving comes in. He'll lend a hand, trying to center it for a wide open James Melindy. Melindy's found himself some great opportunities these last 2 games.
He's really trying to find that way to creep down on the right side, which is a strong side coming from the defensive end there, and he's got a few opportunities now.
Here comes Brennan Kapchak. What a feed out of his own zone to Power for O'Brien. Into the corner. One touch back to O'Brien, but he had it intercepted. Oh, wait, come the Thunder. Peter MacArthur down the left wing over the line. A backhand pass, gets it back. Oh, they score. A bouncing puck. A great finish there by Peter MacArthur. So with 10:23 to go in the first, the Thunder bounce right back. We're tied at 1.
Colin Long with a solid play there for the Thunder, dropping that puck back, just teeing it up with a one-timer. Looks like the Growlers kind of sat on their heels a little bit. It's almost like they didn't take that offensive push too seriously. They're expecting, I think, that to kind of move behind the net. Rather, they took that opportunity and going high on the net there, especially glove side. So looking to see what the Growlers will do here, whether they'll take this and run with it now as a bit of momentum against them, or if the Thunder are going to continue to pour it on.
Gordy Green on the draw for Newfoundland. He's going to steal it away from his man, chips it by, and gives chase into the right wing corner. Taken instead by Adirondack, off a body and into neutral ice. Cleared away by the Thunder, guided into the corner by Cormier. Pomerleau leaves it behind the net for McCourt. Flipped ahead, Centazzo tried a between the legs pass there. Lots of stick work there, and we got a penalty coming up to McCourt here. Sharp angle try, that's going to be fought off. And we got all kinds of extra pushing and shoving here. Thompson getting into it as well, McCourt. I think McCourt might be the only one getting nabbed here. He was definitely the aggressor of the pushing and shoving participants down there.
Guys are having a few words for McCourt there after that.
Cross-checking it is, and I know we talked about this off air, but I do know that officials in the NHL have been cracking down on more of the, let's call them needless cross-checks in the game for player safety, and I get it and stuff, and that one, I mean, they probably deserved it. Let's call it spade a spade.
If you could put the lesson out there now in the first period, probably better than the third, so take this one as a lesson to be learned for McCourt, and I'm sure this one won't be forgotten.
So a 2-minute power play, that came out, and that's an offside against Adirondack.
The Growlers, you know, of course, with their strong penalty kill, expecting this minute 56. I mean, they've had 5 shorthanded goals in 5 games, so will they make it 6?
I mean, you almost have to think there's no way it happened. Like, they've caught fire in a bottle here early in the season while down a man, but nonetheless, you know it's on the mind of the Adirondack Thunder.
Oh, absolutely. You know you got to play a bit more defensive on the power play, as aggressive as you want to be.
Backpedaling, the Thunder get control in their own zone. Johnstone gives a quick whack of the stick there to try and scare the puck off of Thompson's stick, but he carries in. He's bodied loudly in the corner by, that is Nathan Knoll. Puck still pulled away out of the corner, and there's Johnstone sending that one the length of the ice. Good start to this penalty kill. Penalty kill coming in tonight at a 96.6 penalty kill percentage. I hear that's pretty good.
100% at home.
That's right, gotta love that. Here's Masonis going for a skate behind the net for Adirondack. Works it up top. Good skating there. A drive, that one wide of the cage. 9 minutes remaining here in the opening frame, 1-1. Adirondack and Newfoundland, 1 minute to go. Payne, that's gonna be off his stick and out of play. And waiting in the wings here, we got Seth Hyde coming up here for the next little bit. We'll get him in onto the headset here in a few moments' time. Maybe after the power play, we'll give Kellyanne a little break, let her get ready for her interview on Rogers Television, and we'll welcome this young man to the booth.
Exciting to see what happens here, especially for the Growlers and probably also for Seth.
Of course.
Here, but down on the ice is the Growlers. We're going to see this face off, of course, to the blocker side of Cormier.
Masonis gets it off the draw as Adirondack holds the line. Hands it back, Reisig. Back into the left wing corner. Good puck movement so far by Adirondack. Masonis again gets it across with a drive. They score. A redirection in front of the net. It hit a player up high. But hey, that's going to count as a goal, and I believe that's going to be Nick Rivera's goal. It'll be his 3rd of the season, but he is down in a heap on the ice, and here comes the trainer.
Looked like he kind of, as soon as that was tipped off his stick there, good redirection by him in front there. Looks like he took a bit of heat from behind and went straight leaking down. Yeah.
God love the fans here in Newfoundland. Hey, a guy gets hurt scoring against us, and he's still now
getting penalized on the play as well.
Now they're gonna, Hoffenmeyer and Melindy are having a chat here.
Hoffenmeyer saying it's not him. The ref's not hearing any of it. Welly on the bench there also doesn't look too happy with this call.
8:42 to go. Yeah, Melindy knows it too. I do believe it was the puck and not a stick that hit him, but Hoffenmeyer just remains in the box shaking his head here. The linesman having a chat with the referee. But
unlikely they're going to reverse it.
Yeah, I mean, Hoffenmeyer, he's in the box, the door is closed.
Regardless if it was puck or body at that point, you got a guy in the box. I don't see the ref opening up the gate right now, although linesman having a good conversation there. Melindy also chatting with the Thunder's captain at number 16, Pete MacArthur.
Hoffenmeyer, his palms to the ceiling here, wondering, why am I in here?
Unfortunate for the Growlers coming off the penalty kill.
A 4-minute
and
power
going
play.
back on it.
Oh boy.
Blood drawn would increase that teenager.
It sure would. If
We
it
knew
were,
he was leaking, but
well, I mean, you folks at home might have a better idea on whether or not it was indeed the stick or the puck. From our vantage point, which is pretty clean from perched atop center ice here, I mean, it did look like the redirection unfortunately hit the man in front in the face, but I mean, the game happened so quick.
There were so many bodies in front with that redirection there, which again was a great one for Grasso, but in seeing that, it looks like
Now, Hoffenmeyer has been allowed out of the penalty box.
Are they reversing the call? MacArthur not happy with this. He's pretty well laughing at it.
Yeah, Peter MacArthur had a heck of a smirk on his face, trying to get the attention of the referee. I guess the linesman had a pretty clean look at it and went over and convinced the referee perhaps that, hey, I think we got this one wrong.
Good call by the linesman, and he really had that conversation, because generally you don't see a call reverse once it's especially hit the scoreboard at that point, but that would have been devastating for the Growlers who have just had a penalty kill and to go back into a 4-minute one.
Well, maybe they can use that to their advantage and capitalize as Pelton Weiss was hit off the draw. Adirondack with control inside the road zone. Moved up, and it's going to be the accidentally penalized Noel Hoffenmeyer getting it across. Nice feed there for Zach O'Brien, and over the line onside. He's got Pelton Weiss. What a move by O'Brien to dance by his man. Trying to free it up for Pelton Weiss. He'll get it in the right wing corner. Centered up top there. Hoffenmeyer had it knocked off his stick. Now he's got to hurry. A partial odd man rush. Centering feed there. Hoffenmeyer able to block that one away. Puck still rolling away on him. 8:05 to go here. Nice battle there for Marcus Power. Pelton Weiss advanced ahead. Now the Growlers have a 2-on-1. It's Power and O'Brien. Power holds, fires off a stick high over the net. Taken by the Thunder. Out to center it goes. 2-1 Adirondack. As James Melindy flipped through the middle for Marcus Power. He'll lift it away. Knocked down. At center held in by Power. No hand pass, so Isaac Johnson gets an opportunity, leaves the puck behind. And the Thunder skating away at center, picking it up is Peter MacArthur. 7:25 to go. MacArthur leaves it for Long. Long walks into the slot. That's off a stick and out of play. And Kellyanne, maybe we'll let you get ready for your interview, and we'll hand off to see what Seth thinks.
We'll see you back in the second.
For sure. 7:20 remaining. 7:20 to go as we have Seth Hyde, internet sensation, on the mic here. Seth, while we have a brief moment, what do you think of the game so far?
Very well matched game so far. Both teams playing their hearts out here. It's obviously an adjustment for both these teams with the smaller ice surface, you can tell. But, you know, both teams are just having a fantastic game. They're getting on every puck. And as we see, Adirondack is playing really good offensively so far here tonight. So
very much so. 7 minutes to go. The Growlers are going to come away with this one out of their own end. Flipped ahead. Chizowski almost put himself offside. Hands it back to the line, trying to catch Adirondack on a line change. Flipped in by Bafia. Into the high slot. That's redirected just wide. Skirving failed to pick it up off the end boards. And the Thunder, great hustle there. Chizowski manages to keep it in and sends it back down low, allowing the Growlers to complete a line change. 6.5 to play. That's going to be blocked by Gordy Green, trying to advance it ahead. Carrier gets it back for the Thunder. Shots are 7-4 in favor of Adirondack as Kaplan swings back in his own zone. A backhand feed, Thompson, and ahead for Smith. Smith, rolling puck, leaves it for Carrier. He's bodied. Rushing in to steal it back is Kaplan. And no shot there. Great defensive effort by Noel Hoffenmeyer as the Growlers clear the zone. Isaac Johnson hard on the forecheck, trying to steal it back. Comes up empty-handed as that puck gets in onside, and Smith sends it in wide. Collected again by Kapchek. Nice feed, but stolen. In toward the cage, that one just wide of Cormier. Centering try, Kapchek getting into it with his man Carrier in front of the goal. Sean Stone. He'll battle with Carrier as well. Puck pulled away and the Thunder get it. Linesman wide of the cage. Redirected up and over the goal. 5:32 remaining here. Dangerous pass, but Isaac Johnson. Great move there. The Growlers have a 3-on-2. Johnson over the line. They're going to say it was offside. 5:24 to go here in the opening frame. And Seth, I know you were at the game here last night. I know you're a pretty keen eye here. So what did you think of the game last night? Obviously,
Seems like everyone is counting steps these days. Some just count more than others.
All right, hockey fans, Newfoundland Growlers down 2-1 as we continue the first period. Bill Hart and Ben Murphy, and you can't help but notice that there's a little bit of chippiness in the air, and you've got a highlight to show.
Yeah, you can certainly sense it. It's been building here already in the first period, and you can catch just some of it right here. So, Bill, basically, we've been seeing this all throughout the night. 30 penalty minutes between these two teams last night. We saw a lot of this chippiness last night. And another player who's kind of instigating some of this, you could say, Nathan Knoll on this Newfoundland Growlers team. He knows how to get in the heads of the other team's players, you could say. But already a few penalty minutes tonight. We've seen a couple power plays, some power play goals. And I would expect this chippiness to continue tonight, and it'll definitely continue here tomorrow.
Going to be a doozy of a 3-game series here at the CBS Arena. Let's throw it back now to Chris Ballard and Kellyanne Robbins with the call on Rogers TV.
Right, that's right. 5:24 to go here. So we'll have you put on your color commentator hat here for the last 5:24 of the period. We'll see what this line can do. That is all 4 Newfoundlanders on the ice at once, and James Melindy gets control in his own zone. Pass comes across to Pomerleau. He'll look up ice, knocked ahead by Nathan Knoll. Growlers can't maintain possession as LeBerge gets in over the line for Adirondack. His centering try, that one missed as he's rocked by Melindy. There's another try from the blue line, that one from distance, blocked away, and trying for the lengthy pass there was O'Brien. That one got blocked. Pomerleau, Tristan Pomerleau, he had a goal and an assist last night. Snap pass finds Nathan Knoll in over the line, whipped across for O'Brien. O'Brien looking for options, loose in the high slot, poked away, no harm done on the play, but stolen by O'Brien. He'll turn it right back in. Clearing it in behind the net. Nathan Knoll along the left wing boards, absorbs a check and still comes away with the puck. Centers and finds O'Brien in the high slot. O'Brien turns and spins and fires. That one gets blocked. Cleared away by the Thunder, that's Grasso. And picked up by Newfoundland. Here's Riley McCourt weaving his way into the offensive zone, chips it in deep. He'll get to that puck first himself. He had his legs taken out from underneath him as the puck is swept toward the blue line and held in by Luke Bafia. Chizowski trying to get it out in front of the cage. That's blocked and taken by Adirondack with under 4 minutes to go. A long pass. That's touched into the Newfoundland zone but collected back by Bafia. Good shift for him. Moves it up for Oren Centazzo. He'll send it in deep. Centazzo, the only one staying on the ice, not going off for a line change. He'll try to steal this puck away from Thompson. He will force the turnover. Lots of pace. What a one-touch pass there, but Kapchak ran out of ice. Puck rolling along the end boards, and he gets it right back through the middle, intended for Skirving. That one's going to be cleared away. Now well out of his cage to play it is Cormier. He'll clear it all the way for Skirving toward the line. That's going to be held by Adirondack, temporarily flipped free by Gordy Green. Lots of pace here in the later stages of the opening frame. 2-1 Adirondack with 3:05 left. Shots are 8-4 in favor of the visitors. Cleared away by Adirondack. Leaving it for Noel Hoffenmeyer was the goaltender Cormier. Cleared away by Newfoundland. Got to give the Adirondack Thunder lots of credit here tonight. They're doing a better job keeping the Growlers out of the offensive zone. And here comes James Melindy looking to change that and let the pass go. Was Todd Skirving. And now working his way back, great hit by Melindy, nice sneak by Green, and a nice feed ahead. Marcus Power got a piece of that one to avoid the icing, steals it right back into the slot, left for O'Brien, he'll drive it, nice blocker save by Mittens, knocked down and corralled by Kaplan. 2:20 remaining here in the opening period. Taken by Newfoundland is Marcus Power. Look at the edge work there. Slams on the brakes and leaves it for Knoll. Knoll goes for a skate. He'll pivot, keeps away from his man and leaves it up top. Bafia rings it around behind the net. Finds its way to O'Brien. O'Brien behind the net himself. Tried to center it out. And that's intercepted but held again by Nathan Knoll with 2 minutes to go. Knoll a rocket. That's blocked in front. Bounces right to O'Brien. He'll send a nice feed side door. Power tries a shot, a low one. That one blocked by Mittens. Right back to Power. Gets it across off the end boards for Nathan Knoll. Knoll pulls it out of that left wing corner. Pardon me, up top, Bafia. He'll try. That one stopped again by Mittens and corralled by the Thunder. So with 90 seconds to go, that one going to be cleared right into Cormier and left aside for Bafia. Whew. Almost need a break here and a drink of water. It has been furious action here as the Growlers. They got to get back. Irvine, there's a shot. Almost handcuffed the goaltender. The rebound. They score. Tucked home. And 3-1 Adirondack with 1:14 remaining. Seth, what happened there?
Well, Adirondack gets the turnover right there in the open ice, and I've noticed this first period the Growlers have been just trying to get the puck out of their zone, and obviously the passes are going right in front of the net, and Adirondack pick it up, go down, and obviously 3 of their goals came out of in front of the net, so they need to try to shut them down in front of the net. Rebound comes out and is poked in. Now they're up 3-1.
Well, this Growlers team is a resilient one, but allowing a goal late in the period is never something you want to see. But nonetheless, 3-1 is the score. It's only going to make for an even more exciting and dramatic finish, hopefully. That's what we'll tell ourselves here. As Tyler Irvine gets credit for his second of the year. Already the Adirondack Thunder have put a 3 spot up on the board, something they had not done against Newfoundland since opening night. And here come the Growlers trying to get it back with under a minute to go in the period. Left wing side, Pelton Bice knocked down dangerously in front. Chazowski trying to get the rebound, and a penalty coming up to Adirondack as it's touched up. Mazza now sent Tazo in the middle of it as well, trying to get some revenge for their fallen teammate in the corner. That's Riley McCourt, just now making his way to his feet. McCourt was absolutely stapled into the end boards. Cross-checking is the call, and that's Jimmy Mazza heading to the penalty box. So a 5-on-4 advantage, and Seth, you were absolutely right. I feel like Adirondack has done a real good job tonight delivering pucks to the goal, and they're generating a lot of chances when they swarm the net looking for that rebound, which is pretty much exactly what they did on that most recent goal.
And this is a good chance for the Growlers to get rid of that shell shock they've had. That's 3 quick goals by Adirondack, all in front of the net. So the Growlers are looking to get back in this game, and it's a good chance on the power play.
45 seconds to go in the period. Noel Hoffenmeyer retreats in his own zone. They'll look to move it away quickly. Here's Zach O'Brien. Hands up for Noel on the right wing side. Noel slams on the brakes. Almost left the puck behind, and it dribbles out to center, and the Thunder clear the zone. 28 ticks left on the old clock here at CBS Arena in the first period. And here's Riley McCourt. Drop pass for O'Brien at center. He'll hand it across. Chipped in by Nathan Knoll. O'Brien. A burst of speed. Trying to get to that loose puck in the left wing corner. It's knocked away. Going to be held at the line by McCourt. McCourt down low into the corner. O'Brien up top into the slot. And a save made by Mittens with 5.5 seconds to go. Good pressure, Seth, late in this period to try and get something positive heading back to the locker room, but nothing doing so far on this power play.
Yeah, I mean, the Growlers' offensive play so far this season has been absolutely fantastic. They're always looking for the opening man, and as you see there, Marcus Power almost found the back of the net.
3 seconds left. Zach O'Brien tried one more shot. That one blocked by the goal scorer, Irvine. And that's going to do it here for the opening period of action from CBS Arena, as we have a little extra pushing and shoving after the whistle. The fans keeping a real close eye on that action as the team, now LaBerge, continues to go after Nathan Knoll. I can see the smirk on his face from here. So Seth, before we sign off here, I mean, let's kind of turn this into a little bit of an interview here. So I'm curious, and I want you to let the fans at home know, how did you at your age get started in calling play-by-play? How did that begin for you?
Well, before I begin, Melindy's still exchanging words with the Adirondack team.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, I've always been a huge hockey fan ever since I was a little boy, and I'd always do imaginary games in the basement of my house and call the games like Crosby up to Malkin and stuff like that. And whenever I'd play video games, I'd turn down the volume and start to call those games as well.
That's the same story as me, but except with you, what do you play your hockey?
All right, thank you, Chris. Well, you talked about the chippiness. It looks like there's more of that still to come. As you saw, James Melindy had a few words to say before leaving the ice. That's probably a sign of things to come. Adirondack up now in this game. It's now 3-1. And, well, the Growlers going to be going in on the power play starting the second period. But we have a ton of highlights to go through, and we'll start with the Newfoundland Growlers opening up the scoring at 11:51.
Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest of power play goals, Bill. As you can see, this one did some bobbling around. The goalie was kind of thrown into his own net there by his own player, but it was Ryan Chizowski who was able to bury that one on the power play. Again, not the prettiest goal we've seen, but you'll take it. A power play goal is a power play goal. They all look the same up on the scoreboard. It's always good to get that first power play goal under your belt early on, and hopefully they'll be able to find more of that success when they do start the second period.
Well, it didn't take long for the Adirondack Thunder to tie. Less than 2 minutes later, it was 1-1.
This one, a much prettier goal, and really nice, quick shot there from the Adirondack forward to just put it up over Cormier's glove. Cormier actually having a pretty good start here so far tonight. Not a whole lot he could do on many of these goals. I mean, as you could just see, Bill, a little bit of a bouncing puck. He was able to get that off very quickly. One thing Adirondack has been doing very well tonight is getting traffic in front of Evan Cormier, the Growlers goaltender. As you can see, they are getting lots of traffic in front of him, lots of bodies, and they are able to find pucks, or pucks finding their way into the net. On an unfortunate scene there when puck appeared to go off one of the Adirondack players' faces.
This next highlight you're about to see, this is when the Adirondack Thunder took the lead 2-1, and there was some debate whether or not the puck went off his face or not, and we've since learned that it most certainly did.
Up off the skate first, off the face, and then in. You don't see many goals like that, Bill, that go off the face first, but then one very slick play that we did see from Growlers captain James Melindy there behind the net. Unfortunately, there a few minutes after, it was a turnover in the Growlers zone that did lead to that third Adirondack goal, but what a nifty move from Melindy behind the net there.
Yeah, well, that goal at first, originally they thought it was a stick to the face, and they actually put 4 minutes up on the board. They took it off after determining that it was a puck to the face. That's not how we envisioned scoring goals in the driveway of our houses growing up.
Not quite, but hey, like I said earlier, you'll take them in any way you can get them.
Now, you just talked about this Melindy move, and we got to show this highlight because this was different.
A pretty slick little move there. Can't quite see it the same from that angle like you could here from our perspective, Bill, but that nifty move behind the net was really able to open up some ice there for Melindy and get the Growlers moving up ice. Unfortunately, we almost saw a similar style kind of crafty play. Attempted a nice slap pass off the boards that was looking to go deep. Unfortunately, that one was turned over at the blue line, which then led to the third Adirondack goal.
Those who couldn't get a good look, just to give you an idea of what we saw from when we were sitting, James Melindy had the puck behind the net, and there was a Thunder player coming after him, and he actually passed the puck to the back of the net as the player
quick
skated by, and it came back to him, and pretty slick move.
Pretty slick.
I'm telling you, that's what they teach you in the Goulds, by the way, when you're playing street hockey. It's stuff like that. Then the Thunder come on and make it a 3-1 game after this goal.
Yeah, and it's that turnover just outside the blue line there. We have Growlers players going up ice already, trying to look for the stretch pass. You can see what he was looking for on that play, but unfortunately the Adirondack defender could see what he was looking for on that play as well. Jumped in, turnover there just outside the blue line, leads to a third Adirondack goal.
So that's where we stand. After one period of play, it is the Adirondack Thunder 3, the Newfoundland Growlers 1. Thunder out shooting the Growlers in that first period 11-9. Those are the highlights from the first. We're going to take a little break here, and we'll be back with Kellyanne Roberts. We're going to have a little chit-chat with her next on Rogers TV.
Were going up, creditors were calling. I finally realized I needed help. The people at James & Noseworthy really took care of me, and I'm glad I chose a local solution. I felt like they understood me better. Getting help with my debt has given me the energy, the headspace, and the time to make my dreams come true. A chance to start again with knowledge, support, and people in your corner. Are you looking for that kind of help? It's okay.
Learn more about Leah's story at janesnoseworthy.ca.
If you want convenience, Marie's Money Mart is here for you. A one-stop shop for a variety of products, home-style breads, sandwiches, plus check out our freshly baked artisan breads and single-serve desserts exclusively at our in-store bakery on Frecker Drive. With 25 locations, wherever you go, there we are.
I can't thank people enough for donating to the War Amps.
If I could, I'd give every single donor a big hug, because things that they've allowed these kids to do are amazing.
Gives them the opportunity to experience life as everyone else would.
They can do so much. They can play musical instruments, snowboarding, play hockey, kayak, swim. There's no doors being closed to them, and I find that amazing.
It's affected my family in a way that we may never be able to thank you.
Welcome back to Rogers TV broadcast of the Newfoundland Growlers hockey. Ben Murphy has taken a break, and in his place, I'm very proud to be sitting next to Kellyanne Roberts, another member of the Newfoundland Growlers broadcast team. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So how's it been going so far? First game under your belt last night, and first beer with Chris Ballard. Let's ask the question. How is it working with Chris Ballard?
Good so far. I mean, the chemistry's there. It seems to be good. The feedback's been good.
Yes.
You know, he's a pro at what he does, so he makes it very easy to kind of give him a chance to breathe. Essentially, is my job. So, yeah, it's been great.
So by now we've all heard Kellyanne, of course, became the first full-time ECHL color commentator in the history of the league. So, I mean, what a notch in your belt right there.
Yeah, I mean, not one I was expecting when they approached asking if this is something I was interested in doing. It was a no-brainer for me. I've done this years before and loved it. Definitely didn't think I was going to be the first female. I mean, it's 2021. There was no way it should have been me, but I'm happy it was me. I'm happy it's with the Growlers. I mean, this is an organization who we've had so much mutual respect from the very beginning. I've seen their values. I've had to work alongside them before, and it was honestly a no-brainer. So they made it easy.
So anyone that's been watching and listening, asking themselves, if they don't know, how does a TV news reporter find her way into the color commentary position of a professional hockey franchise? And the answer is simply this: you have tons of sports experience.
I do. So I actually started by playing hockey. I had played for years. I played competitively. I played at the college level. And then when I decided that wasn't working out for me, and that obviously, you know, I really need to focus on maybe my studies a little bit more, I took a communications assistant position with the University of Calgary Dinos. I was able to work a press box, kind of get my feet wet that way, and then also the opportunity to do color and play-by-play arose, and so I jumped at that. I mean, loved it, and that's what got me into broadcasting to begin with. So fell in love with that side of it, decided I probably should get some schooling to go with it, did that. It brought me back home to Newfoundland and in broadcasting, doing news, and so this is kind of full circle for me, and I'm so happy to be back because this is what I love. This is what I wanted to get into broadcasting to do, and so now getting to do that with the Growlers, it's a dream come true.
You mentioned come home to Newfoundland, so where exactly are you from? For the viewers at home, where is home here in this province?
So I'm from Mount Pearl originally, and so we moved away a few times. We moved to Nunavut, was up there for a few years, then we moved to Alberta. You know, spent a lot of time back and forth though. I mean, all my extended family's here, and so it was easy to decide to come back when the opportunity arose with NTV, who, you know, so much, you know, love for still and so much respect for, and so in coming home and working for them, that also was like, I mean, when you're from Newfoundland and Labrador, you're NTV, you're like, that's crazy. Who thinks you're going to work there when you grow up? And getting to do that and then branching over this way. So originally from Mount Pearl, to answer your question, and back here now.
Well, how long were you living in Nunavut for?
I was in Nunavut for about 4.5 years.
Wow.
So I played my minor hockey up there a little bit, learned to skate. It was very, very different. I mean, there was only enough for kids for one team per age division. So we didn't play games, we scrimmaged. And we flew to Churchill, Manitoba once a year for a tournament.
How
and
exciting is that?
It was great. For development, it was great. So I lived in Rankin Inlet, where Jordan Tutu's from.
Okay.
So, you know, he was an inspiration for so many of us growing up, and getting to see him excel at such a high level. I mean, it was a lot of fun. My dad coached me. It was a good time.
Well, you know, it's like the family must be proud to have you, you know, doing back home for one, and not elsewhere in another time zone, because now they can find you at Christmas time, and that's the best part.
Oh, it's great. I mean, my parents are still in Alberta, so that part's a little tough, and then through COVID, even harder.
Really?
So, you know, I'm so happy to be in Newfoundland and Labrador. I do miss Alberta here and there, and so my friends and my family up there. So I'll get an opportunity to get up there soon, hopefully. But, you know, in the meantime, I get to be in Newfoundland and Labrador, where, you know, things couldn't get better.
Well, you mentioned your dad coached you, so he has an idea of what you're all about when it comes to your hockey skills. Tell everybody, when you told him that you just landed a gig with the ECHL, what was his response?
Oh, he thought it was so cool. I mean, my dad has always been proud of me and always been a huge supporter and a huge fan of everything I've done. Like I said, he coached me for years and then helped me become the player I am, let alone the person I am. And so when I got to tell him that this is what I was going to do, you know, for him, I think it was like, well, no duh, they're going to pick you. So, I mean, he was a proud dad. So I'm sure he's watching tonight. So, hi, Dad.
Hey, and yes, as her father, you could probably get free tickets to a Growlers game. I mean, there's probably a very good chance of that. Let's go back to your hockey a little bit too, because we talked about this before, and I found it very entertaining. When you did play, I asked you if were you more of a goal scorer or setting up plays, and you weren't either one of those really.
Oh no, I was a cheerleader in college, and I sat on the bench and I cheered my teammates on. I was a total. So I was, you know, I did my part. I got a scholarship. It paid for part of my schooling. So, I mean, it was just for the fun of it at that point. I walked onto a team a few years later, and I actually decided to redshirt with them so I could broadcast instead. So I showed up to practice 4 or 5 times a week, but purely so that I could still broadcast on the weekends.
So you never spent any time in the penalty box at all?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I played boys hockey for years, and so then when you move over to the female side of things, you kind of take the aggression with you. Okay. So it took me a while to ease off that side of it.
There you go. You just said something else too. Playing boys hockey. I mean, nowadays, I mean, girls have their own leagues, and that's great. You know, was it tough being a female athlete on an all-boys squad? Did they embrace you, or were they complaining?
Oh, my best friends are who I met when I played Adam hockey. I mean, Logan and Adam, I literally played with them in my first year, and we're still friends today. I mean, I talk to them probably at least once every 2 weeks. They're still in Alberta, so no, I mean, I had a great experience with it, and then I had an even better experience over on the girls' side too. So, you know, at the time, it was just that there wasn't as much girls hockey around. I mean, that's completely changed here. I'm coaching a U15 girls team, and they are phenomenal hockey players. It's crazy to see where the skill level has come and where it's going, because these girls, there's something to watch for, and we're seeing it now. I mean, we're seeing an Abby Newhook and Maggie Connors and so many others. So to see how far women's hockey has come and where it's going, it's really remarkable.
Well, listen, Kellyanne Roberts, on behalf of everybody, once again, I guess we'll never get tired of saying congratulations, and we're very proud that you are a part of our broadcast team. Look forward to hearing you tonight, tomorrow, and many, many more games to come. Thank you so much for joining us today. Enjoy the game.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Bill.
All right, not a problem. Kellyanne Roberts, the newest member of the Newfoundland Growlers broadcast team. We're going to take a break here, and we'll be back on Rogers TV.
When I racked up some serious debt, interest payments were going up, creditors were calling, Janes and Noseworthy came up with a plan. Knowing that the phone was going to stop ringing and that I was not in this alone was a huge relief. Bankruptcy or a consumer proposal or whatever help you get is not the end. It's just the beginning. A chance to start again with knowledge and support and people in your corner. Are you ready? Get out of debt. It's okay.
Learn more about Leah's story at janesnoseworthy.ca.
If you want convenience, Marie's Money Mart is here for you. A one-stop shop for a variety of products, home-style breads, sandwiches, plus check out our freshly baked artisan breads and single-serve desserts exclusively at our in-store bakery on Frecker Drive. With 25 locations, wherever you go, there we are.
Welcome to the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Stalo people. The Stalo are people of the river. I'm so thankful for the courage and resiliency of our ancestors who lived on this land since time immemorial. Each of us have gifts from the Creator, and our Creator has a plan and purpose to be fulfilled in our territory. As we embrace our traditional teachings, we can lead the next generation into the fullness of what our Creator designed. Our shared history reveals a broken relationship, but as all Canadians commit to hear truth, acknowledge injustice, we can learn to walk in our traditional way, Letsamot, with a good heart and a good mind. Then all of our lives will be enriched. Kwasai.
All right, welcome back to the first intermission on Rogers TV. Newfoundland Growlers down 3-1 after one period of play. Checking out some scores from the other Northern Division teams. Of course, last night, Reading beat Trois-Rivières 4-3 and Florida beat Maine 4-1. We do have a final from today. Trois-Rivières 4-3 winners in a shootout against Reading, and Florida is in Worcester later on tonight, an 8:30 start Newfoundland time. And of course, the Toronto Marlies are rebounded very nicely. They are now 5-3, 4-1 win over Rochester last night. The team is in Utica tonight. Utica, perfect 5-0, which is exactly where our Newfoundland Growlers are now, going into the second period. So Ben Murphy, I ask you, down 3-1, what do the Newfoundland Growlers have to do to get back into this?
Bill, the Growlers just need to get back to their game, and that's the biggest thing. And the Growlers game is made up of really two big main components. The first one being speed, the second being that cycle game we talked a lot about last night. When the Growlers start to work the puck down low and they're moving the puck, they start to break down the defense. Once they do that, the scoring chances open up, and this team is so talented up front that once they start to get their scoring chances, they will bury on those chances. This team has so much firepower up front. Once they can start to, get back to their game, get their feet moving, get the puck moving again, they will find success. This Adirondack team, they play a simple game.
Yes.
They get to the line, they chip pucks in, yep. They're cut traffic in front of the goaltender, heavy hitting team, and that's how they're gonna beat this Newfoundland Growlers team. They're not gonna beat this Growlers team with speed. They're not gonna beat them with skill. They're gonna beat them by playing simple. And that's exactly what we're seeing from this Adirondack team tonight. So what the Growlers need to do, again, Bill, like I said, is just get back to that speed game, get back to that cycle game. The chances are gonna come, and so will the goals. Marcus Power and Zach O'Brien, I already mentioned those two tonight.
You did.
But we saw some good chances from them there later towards the end of the period, especially on the power play. Once those two can get one, all they need to do is get one, and the wheels will start to turn, and they're going to find a lot more success, and they'll have a big impact on this score sheet.
Yeah, it's also worth noting, too, as you alluded to earlier, the chippiness in this game seems to have intensified as the minutes go by. Staying out of the penalty box for the Newfoundland Growlers is very important. Right now, they start the second on the power play, so you talk about getting that first goal. Well, this is probably the time to do it.
Absolutely, Bill. I mean, you get out there, you get that fresh ice. You got to be a little aware of that because it can still be a bit wet in some spots, and you don't want to create turnovers from wet ice. We've all been there. But it's a great opportunity here to kind of settle things down, the puck drop, find something on the power play, get that cycle game going, find their legs, get some puck moving. If they don't score, it's not the end of the world. No. It's just getting that confidence here early on, and the rest of it is going to come throughout the period.
All right, so strap yourself in. I think we're going to have a doozy of a second period here at the CBS Arena with the Newfoundland Growlers headed to the power play. We're going to throw things over now to Chris Ballard and Kellyanne Roberts as we start the second period here on Rogers TV.
Seeing the same amount of speed that we saw last night, and we're not seeing the connections. It kind of felt like the Growlers were fighting the puck a little bit there, especially in the second half of that first period.
Very fair to say. Well, only 5 seconds left until we kick off the second period, so go throw another bag of popcorn in the microwave. You're not going to want to miss the action. Here from CBS Arena as the Growlers, well, their path to victory looks a little different here in the second. Zach O'Brien and Marcus Power. Riley McCourt and Noel Hoffenmeyer on the blue line. Remember, folks, we still have 1 minute and 10 seconds of power play time as the Thunder clear the zone to start the period. So Zach O'Brien, he'll collect in his own zone, head up as he skates it to the blue line, handing a cross laterally from McCourt in over the line onside to Marcus Power. The lefty spins it back up top. McCourt across for Hoffenmeyer, the power play specialist. Down low, O'Brien, back to Marcus Power behind the net. Looking for options, finds O'Brien. 43 seconds left to go on the man advantage for Newfoundland. Almost losing that one was Hoffenmeyer. It's off the end of the stick of O'Brien, trying desperately to hold the line. He almost did. Nathan Knoll coming in with a ferocious stick check there as the Growlers forced to yet again start it again from their own zone. 25 seconds of power play time to go. Hoffenmeyer once again drop pass for McCourt, and up comes Marcus Power on a great feed from O'Brien. Tried to hit him back. That one off his stick and into the corner. Clearing attempt successful for Adirondack. Look at the wheels on Hoffenmeyer, the first man back. And good thing, because the Growlers only have 5 seconds of power play time left, and a turnover. There's a shot. That one handled by Cormier. Just as Jimmy Mazza exits the penalty box, we're back to 5 aside. Not terrible on the power play to start the period, but you got to keep that pressure on.
Yeah, not many shots on net there. I don't know if we had a true shot on net on that power play there in the beginning of the second period. I mean, work to be done on it for sure, but you know, the Growlers, they play better 5-on-5. Mind you, they play better shorthanded, obviously, but the power play just hasn't clicked for them yet, and so not surprising that we didn't necessarily generate anything out of that.
Face off one back by the Thunder, trying to deliver from distance there, and that's going to be broken up. And at center ice, the Thunder poke it right back in. Cormier aside for James Melindy has a bit more of a bee in his bonnet in this game compared to some other contests where we've seen him throughout this season. See if that turns into his first fighting major perhaps of the year. Cleared away by the Thunder, right back to Cormier. A little backhand pass aside. Cap check, absorbs a smack from his man as James Melindy. The C on his chest, moves it ahead for Gordy Green. Green, nice play by the defender to knock that puck away. He'll find Melindy backpedaling in his own zone. 2 minutes gone here in the second period. 3-1 Adirondack. Chris Ballard and Kellyanne Roberts with the call tonight from Conception Bay South Arena. Chipped in by Skirving, not very deep. Quickly corralled by the Thunder. Gordy Green, hello, is that one is off a stick and out of play with 17:45 to go in the second.
The Growlers, they're not quite connecting on some of those easier passes. We're seeing the puck really bounce. It just seems like the easy connections that we have seen from them aren't happening here tonight. Really, again, fighting the puck, and I know I'm overusing that phrase here, but it's really what feels like is happening out there. And I don't know if we just kind of have to go to that dump and chase game right now to kind of simplify things to get it generating again.
Oh, and a huge hit in front of the Growler bench as Skirving throws his weight around, knocking Thompson to the ice with Thunder. Play continues inside the Newfoundland zone. Isaac Johnson doing some nice work down there to free up the puck, and they will. Nice play by Centazzo to keep the man at bay and collecting the pass. Cross ice feed, knocked down, but Skirving has a try. Tried the backhand, works it up top instead. Bafia rolls it back down low into the opposite side corner. Trying to get to the wall first, but Peter MacArthur wins that foot race. But Todd Irving steals it back and plays it for Palmer Lowe inside his own zone. And an open ice clip there, but the Growlers move in. Nice move, but hauled down. The Growlers are going to go back to the power play with 16:57 remaining. And Kellyanne, I think what caused that penalty for the Adirondack Thunder, that's the kind of stuff that the Growlers need to keep doing. Keep your feet moving, keep playing your game, and the game that has made this team the last undefeated team in the ECHL. Keep the feet moving and force Adirondack into these penalties.
Oh, absolutely. The Growlers do a really good job when they pick up their speed and they change gears and they come down on the outside and try to cut in, typically looking for that high slot or looking for a shot for the far pad for that rebound. That is what the Growlers, that's their bread and butter. And so to see them looking to get back to that, that's encouraging, as they're down 2 goals right now.
Puck loose off the draw, clearing attempt for the Thunder. Nice effort by O'Brien. That puck had a lot of juice. It ends up back into neutral ice, and backpedaling with it is Noel Hoffenmeyer. His pass tipped away by Rivera. He's forced all the way back behind his own net to get set up. Hoffenmeyer starts to skate it out himself. The drop pass almost stolen away again, but O'Brien manages to pull his way forward. O'Brien cross ice into the skates of Marcus Power. Had to send it back to the line from McCourt. Pass is getting blocked a lot here. You got to give the Adirondack Thunder a lot of credit. The active stick is leading this contest tonight.
They're much more aggressive than we saw last night, and I think that's contributing to a lot of their their opportunities here and the movement with the puck.
LeBear centered in alone in front. A shorthanded try for the opposition here. And the Growlers can't get out of their own zone here as McCourt forced back. The puck went in off a shin pad. He'll leave it for Zach O'Brien. A minute to go on the man advantage. 16 minutes to go here in the second period of this 3-1 game. And Gordy Green has a little speed down the left wing. Slams on the brakes into the slot for Chizowski. Couldn't find a shot. Stick checked on the play, but managed to find Gordy Green yet again. Left wing boards. Head up as he walks his way down into the corner. Pass for Centazzo's over his stick. Brennan Kapchek pulls it away along the right wing boards and hands it back. Nice feed for Johnson. Isaac Johnson, all kinds of room off the goal stick of Mittens, and he'll bat it into the corner. Centazzo battling hard down there to free it up. It's in the skates of Johnson. He'll work it back up top and across it comes. That's Brennan Kapchek. 20 seconds to go on the man advantage. There's number 20 with a shot, Johnson, and it's off a stick. Out of play again. Another solid look and kill here for the Adirondack Thunder.
Growlers doing a better job at trying to get pucks to the net here now, knowing a garbage goal is just as good as any other goal, considering it goes up on the scoreboard the same way.
No such thing as a garbage goal at this stage of the game, no doubt about that. 14-9 are the shots now for Adirondack as we approach the 5-minute mark of the second period, and that same unit staying out there for Newfoundland. Gordy Green, Ryan Chizowski, Isaac Johnson, Oren Centazzo, and Brennan Kapchek. 4 forwards for Newfoundland. Johnson up top, Kapchek, beautiful sauce feed across. Centazzo has some room, saw some light above the glove of Mittens, but he'll pull that out of midair with 8 seconds remaining on the power play.
I think Mittens was really trying to push him to that glove side there. He kind of left quite a bit of it open. With the last name Mittens, you know, fair enough.
So for any of you at home keeping a tally on how many mittens, gloves, hands puns we've made, let us know what we're up to. Face off, that's Chukarov for Adirondack, trying to get it out. He's successful. And here comes Blake Thompson out of the penalty box. We're back to 5 aside, and the Growlers have got some work to do to get the offense started here. And that's a nice start there. That's Johnstone flipping it free, Skirving. He's got some room, looked up top over the blocker, fired it over the cage. Pomerleau holds the line, sends it down low. Johnstone throws a check. The Growlers hold the line temporarily along the right wing board. Skirving, nice battle there. Melindy a try from the point, not one blocked by Mittens. Held in Gordy Green, he'll snap it down low. Marcus Powers out there, and I think there's some tinkering being done here to some of the lines. This is a new combination from Eric Wellwood as Pomerleau gets it on the left-hand point off a feed. Melindy, that one a low shot through traffic and on goal, but seen and held by Merrick's Mittens. With 14-14 to go in the second.
Definitely some change-ups happening here on the front end for the Growlers, and I guess trying to do whatever you can to generate some more opportunities, trying to find that spark for this team to really get moving and get going again. We're not seeing Zach O'Brien and Marcus Power paired up anymore, which we had seen through the first period and a half.
Face-off won by Newfoundland. Bafia, oh, that's just barely wide. Nathan Knoll creating all kinds of havoc in front of the cage. He'll battle in the corner. Nice play by Knoll to free it back up. That's Zach O'Brien, 2 men on him. Rolls into the high slot. Nobody home for Newfoundland. Rivera clears the zone. Foot race for it, no icing. Irvine beats out the call. It got chipped behind Grasso though, and the Growlers look up ice. Great feed. Gordy Green in over the line. Drop pass across and offside.
I don't know about that.
13:45 to go here in the period.
Right idea for the Growlers coming in to make that drop pass, seeing the 2 defenders, so you can kind of take them, open up for that high shot, looking for that rebound, but getting caught with the whistle there on that one. But right idea. I think the Thunder getting caught a little low there. I mean, typically we've seen them have a very strong offense in this game, but
The Growlers still down 3-1 in the second period, and that's some mean sax being played right now. Is that a sax? I can't tell. I hear the music. I'm here with Ben Dropkick Murphy, and what are you seeing so far in the second period?
The Growlers are struggling in the face-off dot, which it's starting to stem, or you're seeing some of the issues, I guess, on the power play kind of stemming from that. They're not getting a whole lot of offensive zone face-off wins, which then again, you know, that immediately gives up puck control, especially on the power plays early on. We're starting to see the Growlers get back to their game starting to see them move the puck a little bit more, move their feet a bit more, and getting more shots at the net. The 2 power play chances, not a whole lot there, but we're starting to see the right things here. And we have noticed actually a lineup change as well. It seems like some guys are getting shifted around. Zach O'Brien and Marcus Power have been split up, but we are seeing Zach O'Brien, Marcus Power, and Nathan Knoll, all 3 Newfoundlanders on the power play together.
All right, back to Chris Ballard and Kellyanne Roberts on Rogers TV.
They're playing the actual song here. Careless Whisper, I think this is called. Great tune. Noel Hoffenmeyer's play gets back underway, rings it around hard into the offensive zone, bouncing puck on the right wing corner. The Thunder able to settle it, and it feels like they've not, I don't want to say gotten a few bounces. I don't want to take any credit away from them, but the puck having an easier time maybe finding the sticks of the Thunder, like that play there as they come into the zone, handing it off into some open ice there. Thompson couldn't reel in the pass. Down low, Carrier had his pocket picked by Isaac Johnson. His pass through the middle, Skirving ahead now again for Centazzo. Kapchek trying to stay open. His stick was lifted, but Skirving puts it toward the front of the cage. Out of midair, a nice try by Centazzo, but Mittens and Centazzo in the middle of some business there in front of the opposition cage.
We're seeing a lot more of this tonight as well than we had last night. Despite the tallies on the score sheet for penalties last night, you know, tonight no one letting anyone go without a message being sent. We're also not seeing the net off as much. Mind you, it's off right now, and I know Cormier earlier pulling it back on a few times before the ref blowing the play down. Looks like we do have a penalty for the Growlers here, though.
Good eye. That's Todd Skirving being escorted to the penalty box. Is he the only one is my question, because...
No, looks like we're going 1-1.
The old adage, it takes 2 to tango, and that's exactly what they were doing. That's Kaplan and Skirving in the box. 2 minutes apiece, 13:04 remaining. Are we going to play 4 or 5 aside? Melindy heads back, so 4 aside it will be as the Growlers look to get back into this hockey game.
This faceoff going to take place to the blocker side of Mittens. Growlers, you know, they do play really well with the 4-man on the ice, so potentially using their speed here and maybe making some more connections that we've been missing just a little bit of. The Thunder, however, capitalizing on those and really gaining traction.
3-on-2 broken up by Riley McCourt. He'll play it just too far out of the reach of Chizowski as the Thunder hammered right back in off the goal stick of Evan Cormier, loose in the corner, but freed back up and moved ahead quickly, and a great feed finds Chizowski at center. He's got John Stone standing alongside. That one poke checked away. Brennan Kapchek trying to keep it in the offensive end there. Nice play though by Long. That sends Adirondack ahead. Robbie Payne. His shot, a high riser, didn't miss the top blocker, cornered by much. 12:20 to go here. Payne in over the line, fakes the shot. McCourt stays with him. Payne still has it, top of the right wing circle, leaves it along the end boards. That's Chukarov toward the line, and shot through traffic, and a couple of fighting stops there made by Cormier, some of his best of the evening. Brennan Kapchek at center, dances by his man Chizowski. A nice power move to get into the offensive zone. Ran out of ice though. Under a minute left in the 4-on-4 play here, as Chukarov stiff arms his way by O'Brien and storms ahead himself. Hands it off to Grasso, but a great block by Pomerleau. The Growlers can't come away with the puck, but it will be pushed back into center ice by Adirondack. 11:40 to play. Away come the Thunder at center ice. That's Grasso dancing into the left-hand side. He'll try his shot right into the old leather lobster of Evan Cormier. He'll hang on. 16-13 are the shots in favor of Adirondack. 17-13 make it. And again, I'm not sure what it is here for Newfoundland. Maybe it's some residual rust that didn't accumulate last night that is starting to settle in here. I don't know. This feels a little off kilter for this squad.
It does feel off tonight. It feels like nothing's coming easy right now.
Well, these Growlers are going to get the best from every team they play for back-to-back weeks. The Growlers, owners of top spot in the Flow Hockey ECHL Power Rankings, and rightly so, as the last undefeated team. But, well, this team is never going to go 72-0. Let's call a spade here, but expected a little more here. But here's O'Brien looking dangerous. Oh, he just missed the far post with another quick release. Skirving's out of the box, so is Kaplan, and here come the Thunder trying to capitalize. MacArthur, he's being watched by Pomerleau, spins one toward the net, that one poked away. Speaking of poked, it looks like Cormier took a bump in his crease there as well, but away comes Newfoundland at center. Johnson tried to leave it for Marcus Power. Nice play by Power to tag up as Skirving sends it in. Approaching the halfway point of the contest here. And the Thunder, lots of ice for Kaplan right down the middle, and a good defensive effort there by Buffia to prevent the shot on goal. Battling in the right wing corner, Buffia, Kaplan, Centazzo, but it's Mazza holding the line for the Thunder. Masonis a drive, blocked before it reached Cormier. Cormier down, saw it the whole way, and now Buffia jarring with his man in front of the cage. He'll get the puck back too. Luke Buffia off the boards for Isaac Johnson. That pass partially intercepted. Adirondack able to hold the line. Penalty coming up to Newfoundland, and they'll touch it up with 9:59 to go on the clock. Another cross-checking penalty, the third cross-checking minor of the game, and it's Luke Buffia heading off this time.
He says me as he goes in with a question mark, but I don't really think there was a question there for that penalty. It was pretty obvious, pretty blatant, and it felt like that one was building. Buffia and Kaplan really exchanging a few blows down low. I would say some subtle ones, but not missing the ref's eye on that last one.
Yeah, you could kind of see that one coming. So another power play here for Adirondack, and a pretty big moment here, honestly. I mean, the penalty kill has been the bread and butter of this Growler squad so far this season. Hopefully that remains. There's pretty crucial time in this hockey game. A goal for the Thunder here would, all but cement a pretty easy third period for them, perhaps, but lots of hockey left. Half a game remaining here, and that's going to be a clearing attempt held by Masonis at the line. Sent down low, worked around by Irvine, left wing boards. Everyone trying to poke this one free. Good stiff poke check there, but not out. Here's Colin Long. His shot, another poke check by Hoffenmeyer. Hoffenmeyer spins that one off the glass, and a nice effort to clear the zone.
The Growlers do what a lot of coaches, I think, would really stress about, and that's they're so aggressive on that penalty kill. 3 guys going for the puck to make sure it gets out, but it working in this situation.
The Thunder get control at center. Payne in over the line, top of the circle. Poke check that way again, this time by Melindy, and cleared away by Nathan Knoll. Merrick's mittens faked the shot, plays it away. Now Chazowski hard on the forecheck, forces the turnover as Pomerleau puts it right back in. Another good-looking kill here so far, but it's not really what the Growlers need at this point in time. They don't need a kill. They need one of their patented shorthanded goals to try and get back into this hockey game. Puck rolls behind the Growler goal. Poked free, but there's LeBerge along the right wing boards to hold it in. Zach O'Brien out for a rare penalty kill. I think the Growlers kind of putting more eggs in the offensive kill basket. At this point in time, they score. Adirondack. Thompson got one through a crowd. A bit of an off-speed pitch makes it 4-1 Adirondack. And
Cormier really looking to track that puck as he came across, but that redirection, just throwing it back as he was already coming across the crease there. The Growlers, for the most part, doing a good job on that penalty kill, really staying aggressive on it and trying to keep the puck out, but 2 quick passes from the Thunder there and a shot from the point, and they now have a 3-goal lead. And the Thunder, when they're leading after the first or the second, they've gone 1-0 when they've had that lead. So something to keep in the back of the Growlers' mind is that they really have got to step things up here, maybe turn on the jets, not be afraid to go with the puck. We haven't seen the defenseman move the puck this game like we have in the past. You know, Hoffenmeyer not really skating with it, Kapchek not either. Not saying anything against their game tonight, it hasn't been there, but I mean, if they get that opportunity, maybe this is where they take it. No point in sitting defensively at this point.
In a 4-1 game especially, you can kind of start pulling out some stops here. You know?
Absolutely.
Still plenty of time remaining, 8:42, and Lord knows the Growlers can put the puck in the back of the net when they need to do it. So hopefully there's just a kink in the hose, and when they get it all squared away, the Growlers can pull this one off. But hey, a bit of resiliency at this stage of the game is not necessarily a bad thing either. Free puck in neutral ice, taken in by Gordy Green. He'll chip it by his man and give chase into the right wing corner. Nice hard battle there against Leidsman. Connected Adirondack inside their own zone, a bank pass ahead. Riley McCourt defending the line nicely. And Marcus Power ahead for Zach O'Brien as the Super Noofs are reunited. A quick drive there. A low shot by O'Brien. Snared by...
Haven't opened yet. And you know it's coming, and it's not that he's not producing, because he absolutely is. He's creating opportunities for his teammates, but he just can't buy that first one yet.
Yeah, Zach O'Brien, the only goal he does have was from 185 feet from his own goal, so it hardly counts. I mean, it absolutely counts, but...
I know what you mean.
Yep. Pulled away by the Thunder off a scramble in front. They'll clear the zone. This puck, maybe a little backspin, ends up off the outside of the cage. No icing. Good patience there by Cormier, but a good rush started out by Centazzo. Chizowski across Centazzo in toward the cage. A great opportunity there on a low shot by Centazzo, but fought off by Mittens.
Great pad save there by Mittens to realize that puck was coming right across the crease.
Isaac Johnson dumbing against the boards, lifted into the air. MacArthur knocked it down and played ahead for Payne. He'll skate it to center. The fake shot there, trying to get room around Hoffenmeyer, but a nice partial hip check there by Hoffenmeyer. Sends the puck into the corner toward the line, now held. Ryzik, that's knocked down, spinning and firing. Rebound, stopped in front by Cormier, maybe his best of the night. Up top, held in. Ryzik has all kinds of space, and he fires it off the blocker of Cormier again. Adirondack continuing to buzz here, Kellyanne.
Sorry, looking like the Growlers almost forgetting about that right-sided defenseman there from the Thunder.
That's been a penalty coming up here to the Adirondack Thunder as Centazzo heads off. Chizowski chasing this one down, and 6:50 remaining here in the period. Roughing, I believe, the call.
The Thunder having no problem on the penalty kill, however, so far through this game. Not that there's been that many opportunities, but out shooting the Growlers right now, 21-16. And, you know, that's completely translated over into the score. You're seeing that with a 4-1 lead for the Thunder over the Growlers. However, this faceoff will go down into the Thunder zone, the glove side of Mittens. Looking like we've got the Newfoundlander line out there again here. So it looks like Wellwood going back to what we saw at the beginning of the game in terms of matchups.
I don't think the Growlers have yet found the perfect complement for Zach O'Brien and Marcus Power at center. And that's, again, not to take away from any of the work. I think Pelton Bice, their normal center, has done a fantastic job as Nathan Knoll, looking for his first Growler goal, is stopped on a one-timer. Knoll, great poise with the puck there. It's going to come back to the line. McCourt, one touched across, but that's off a stick. Hoffenmeyer had to move it away quickly, and they're going to blow the play dead on an offside.
Hoffenmeyer, that's a few times now that it almost feels like if he took one more second with the puck, then he'd be able to see where that pass is truly going to go through, but not in this case here. Growlers really looking to try to generate that low cycle, but nothing coming through yet. So we're going to see the face-off at center ice after that offside call on the Growlers.
Face-off pulled away and quickly cleared by Adirondack. Still $1:25 to go on this Growler power play. 6:10 remaining here as Brennan Kapchek revs the engines at center. He'll carry it in, handing it across to Gordy Green. Green surveys his options, snap behind the net, comes out for Centazzo. He'll play it back for Chizowski. Back to Centazzo up top. Now it's Johnson. He'll play catch. Right back to Centazzo and down low, trying to sneak out with a backhand. And a whistle, and that's knocked off its pegs.
Centazzo coming back to really sit in the back end of this power play here. I'm seeing it more so in this period than I think we did earlier on. But
we are not used to seeing him be the one picked to play the point.
No, generally, and we haven't seen as much of Kapchek out there, and so looking like things starting to move, trying to really get that puck down low and then pushing it out front.
Loose puck collected and cleared by MacArthur, the veteran captain of these Adirondack Thunder. Oren Centazzo keeps it out of the reach of the aforementioned MacArthur, and the Growlers. Kapchek, he's turned inside out, managed to get it out of the zone only temporarily. Johnson's forced back in there. 40 seconds to go on this Growler power play. They have one power play goal tonight. They're 1 for 3. And here they come. Right wing corner, centering try from Johnson. That's blocked. Couple of boys in there trying to free it up, and they will find Chizowski. Left wing corner, bullies his way behind the net, trying to walk out in front. That's located off the glove of Centazzo and cleared away. 5:10 remaining here in the second period of a 4-1 Adirondack lead. And here's Brennan Kapchak. 10 seconds left on the man advantage. Over the line, finds a little space on the right wing side. Tied up, loose puck. Shoveled free, Marcus Power has his man tied up. Careful with that extra hand, Marcus. Centering feed, up top, Hoffenmeyer. We're back to 5 aside. O'Brien, great move. Centers in front, nobody home. Another try there, Pomerleau. He'll walk in, activating off the line. Centering feed by O'Brien, trying to find Pomerleau sneaking back door. But O'Brien gets it back. Up top, Hoffenmeyer, rolling puck there, elects to pass. There's a great feedback. A rocket there, that might be, oh boy, almost tossing it back into his own cage. Is Mittens across, oh what a save by the goaltender, cleared away as Marcus Power, still looking for his first goal of the season as Hoffenmeyer comes back to touch it up.
Thunder not too happy, looking like they were looking for some goalie interference or some play there within the crease, but not quite. Just the Growlers finally looking to do what they really need to do at this point, and that's get bodies in front and start looking for that high man coming down. And the defenseman really doing a good job at coming down on that far side, really hitting into the higher area of the circle for that quick one-timer that typically you see from Ovechkin. That's kind of his sweet spot. So looking like they're trying to generate something similar.
Skirving, Green, and Johnstone, they're your forwards. Molindi and McCourt. And McCourt's got the puck now at the right-hand point. Walking to find a lane, hands to Molindi instead. Molindi, snapper, and on goal, another rebound, and the Growlers just not getting to him. Great block there by Adirondack, and it's cleared away. 4 minutes to play. Through the middle for Johnstone, over the line with Skirving. Skirving finds Johnstone, scores! What a backhand, top corner, over the blocker of Mittens. We got a new game, 4-2. Still some work to be done, but they needed that goal.
Oh, absolutely, and great heads-up play there by Todd Skirving, seeing that pass rather than just taking that shot on net, seeing he had an open guy. And if he had to take the shot on net, he had a guy there for the rebound. So textbook play here from the Growlers, definitely needed that one with just over 3 minutes to go in the second period, but now a 2-goal lead for the Thunder, and that's the worst lead to have in a hockey game.
3:47 to go here in this second period. Some life perhaps heading into the third here for Newfoundland, and maybe enough life to get another one here in the final stages of this one, but we'll have to wait and see. Back in their own zone, that's going to be freed up for Isaac Johnson, across for Chizowski. Poke check off his stick, but followed up by Hoffenmeyer, cleared in. Rolling puck behind the net. Blake Thompson has to hurry. He's got Isaac Johnson all over him. Good block by Johnson, forcing Isaac back. For Blake Thompson, into the air. Missed all the beams, but they're going to blow the play dead. It did go over the beam. And now Chizowski, Kapchak, sharing some recipes down in front of the Newfoundland goal. Of course, I love when kids call for blood. You can hear the kids chanting, fight, fight.
Maybe not with just 3 minutes left in the second period there and coming off the goal. Let's find the momentum first. Let's keep that going.
And a timeout on the ice.
Likely the Thunder calling this. They're going to want to cool down the Growlers after scoring such a nice goal there. You know, looking to keep that momentum going. The Growlers looking to cut this deficit even more as they head into the third period. But Thunder looking to try to take the wind out of those sails right now. The Growlers, they really needed that there. I think the fans had been pretty well begging for it there, and so we're seeing an excited crowd.
Ben Murphy, that 4-2 score definitely not indicative. It doesn't indicate what exactly is happening in this game so far.
No, it's been a pretty back and forth game here so far, Bill, and we're seeing lots of scoring chances from both teams here. The big difference is Adirondack has been able to create a lot of traffic in front of Evan Cormier tonight, and 3 of the 4 goals, there's just been swarms in front of Cormier. Really not much he can do on any of them. The Growlers need to start mimicking that as well and start getting some more traffic in front of the Adirondack goal. We just saw a big goal from Johnstone to get the Growlers back in this one, 4-2.
All right, let's throw it back down to Chris Ballard and Kellyanne Roberts on Rogers TV.
Representation of his game, because he's a guy who's always hustling out there. I mean, we saw where he tried to get back on for the offside not to happen and, working he's not someone who gives up on the puck, and maybe we're not seeing it on the score sheet necessarily, but there's a few guys out there like that as well.
Kapchek, Hoffenmeyer, Knoll, Power and O'Brien out there. Offensive zone, face-off, puck still loose. Pulled away softly for Kapchek, trying to dance forward off the line, and Nathan Knoll threw a nice check. Riley McCourt picks up this second assist. On the Johnstone goal, his second of the year, Marcus Power trying to get in behind the defense. Marcus Power none too pleased with that icing.
Considering the one right before it was waved off, you thought they were going to be exchanged.
Pretty much an identical play too.
Yeah, both teams looking to try to cut that high forward across to get that open pass through the center ice, but both sides defensemen reading that.
The Growlers putting more rubber toward the cage as well. Shot deficit now just 22-20 are the shots for Adirondack. They continue to lead this one 4-2. Held in at the line by Thompson, played down low. Bounced off the end of his stick. Nathan Knoll gives chase in the corner. He's all wrapped up with Payne there, and he's got Payne on top of him now, staring down at him like Muhammad Ali. Right wing corner, long. MacArthur trying to bully his way. Nice play by MacArthur, and a good dive there. Blocked in front again by Nathan Knoll. Black and blue play as O'Brien gets away on the right wing with Hoffenmeyer. O'Brien to the backhand, dropped it off a stick and held by Mittens. Great opportunity for Newfoundland late in this second period.
It seems like the team is now clicking here. It's like they've got a bit
They
of
found the gear.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Really looking to capitalize on that. Those passes are now clicking. You've got guys throwing a body in front of everything. Nathan Knoll there, I think twice, sliding across, preventing anything from going in Cormier's direction. And so 2 minutes left in this period for the Growlers to try to find one more here, if not two.
All the way back inside the Newfoundland zone it comes. Cormier out of his cage, leaves it for McCourt. Good patience behind the cage. Smart pass for Pomerleau, back to McCourt. Almost wasn't expecting it. He'll be forced back behind his net again. Back to Pomerleau, and ahead to Gordy Green. Almost turned it over. The Growlers recover, and there's Johnstone. He's got the most recent Growler goal, and he's going to try and sneak through neutral ice again as the Growlers get set up. At the line and in, Pomerleau. Behind the net it goes, Skirving. Penalty coming up on the play, touched by Newfoundland, and it's a Growler penalty. High sticking.
They're looking for blood, but I don't think they're going to get anywhere. When I say that, it's not that they're looking for actual blood. They're not looking to generate a fighting opportunity here.
No, exactly. High sticking it is. It's Mark Johnstone in the penalty box. 2-minute minor. So our blood, that's a good thing.
Thunder will start the third period on the power play. If they don't find the back of the net here with a minute 37 left in the second.
4-2 Adirondack. They have scored 2 power play goals tonight. Penalty coming up. And MacArthur shooting that puck at the whistle, and we'll have 4-a-side hockey.
LaBerge, they're really taking down Melindy in the corner. That was a pretty clear trip.
And Melindy sharing some of that Newfoundland hospitality with LaBerge as he helps escort him to the penalty box.
He's shrugging that one off. He's almost having a laugh at it.
Oh, that's that perfect little zone for James Melindy. I love smirking James Melindy. I don't like fighting in the hallway, James Melindy.
Not many people do.
Oh, it was entertaining as all heck, but the fallout, well, I suppose the Growlers ended up.
Of it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't my favorite, but again, when James knows how to toe the line, Kapchek, one-timer off the face-off into the breadbasket of Mittens. He'll hang on for another offensive zone draw, but I mean, back to James, yeah, you don't like to see the off-the-ice fisticuffs. That's not what I'm endorsing by any stretch, but it's when he gets smirky and he plays a smart game to get into your head. That's when things go well. Oh, what a left pad save there by Mittens on a touch play in front. 4-on-4 for a minute 40 seconds here. Good forecheck by Centazzo. Almost in the blue paint in front of Mittens, and a long pass. That's not going to be an icing, so Cormier, nice little head fake there, leaves it in the corner for Hoffenmeyer. played out to center ice. 1 minute to go, final minute of action here in period number 2. Chukarov almost at his pocket, picked by Johnson, but here come the Thunder. Over the line and across, that's Payne. For Thompson playing down low. Offenmeyer dropped his stick, picked it back up, and the Thunder get control of the puck. Side door try, that one blocked away. Good use of the body there, and that's going to be flipped into the air. Hoffenmeyer trying to cheat in behind, but it was knocked down at center. 30 seconds to go in the period. The crowd trying to will the Growlers to a late second period goal. Chukarov ahead on the left wing side. The Thunder sail this one in. Right wing corners where it lands. Rolling it away and ahead. O'Brien, 12 seconds to go. Has some options and finds Johnson. Johnson weaves his way over the line. 7 seconds left. Has to find some room to make a play. Johnson for O'Brien. Up top, one-timer. Just wide as the buzzer goes.
I think Pomerleau knew that the clock was really winding down there. I think if he had the time, he was going to come a little bit more to the center ice to open that up, but doing the right thing and getting that shot off as the clock literally hit 0 right after. Mittens pushed that one aside.
We'll have 23 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey when we return for the third period. It's 4-2 Thunder, so for those of you on Mixler, stick around. You'll hear from Growlers head coach Eric Wellwood. Make sure you come back. 4-2 Thunder, plenty of hockey left right here on Rogers Television, Mixler.com/NL Growlers.
All right, welcome to the second intermission. Adirondack Thunder up 4-2 over the Newfoundland Growlers. Coming up during this second intermission, we're going to answer the question that everyone here at the CBS Arena is asking, where is Buddy? We'll answer that question for you. Plus, Brian Rogers returns to the broadcast for the first time this season. He's going to be talking with Growler head coach Eric Wellwood in just a little bit. Right now, it's Bill Hart and Ben Murphy. And wow, this game, it's not like Adirondack is outplaying the Newfoundland Growlers. It's much more even than what the score indicates.
Yeah, not by any means, Bill. I mean, this has been a really tight back and forth game from start to finish so far here tonight with lots of scoring chances going on both sides.
Right.
Adirondack's been able to create a bit more traffic in front of that Growlers net, which has led to more goals for Adirondack tonight. You're starting to see that out of the Growlers a little bit more now. They're starting to generate a little bit more traffic in front of the Adirondack net. It wasn't traffic that led to that nice goal from Mark Johnstone there, which we will see in just a moment, but you know, they need to get back to that simple game because that's what we're seeing from Adirondack.
Right. So we're taking a look at some highlights here. We'll get things started. And this is the scrum, I think. Yeah, this is one of the scrums we were talking about. We saw a lot of this during this this second period of play.
Yeah, maybe 4 or 5 different scrums we've seen like this now, and Growlers forward Todd Skirving has been in the middle of a lot of those scrums tonight, and we saw more jawing after the whistles, more jawing once the buzzers went at the end of the intermission there. Yeah. It's been very chippy back and forth, and no shortage of penalty minutes here tonight either.
That's right. It's tried, you try to stay out of that penalty box. It's so important. The Thunder made it 4-1 on this goal right here.
And Bill, what you'll notice here again is traffic in front of the net. Bodies in front. Adirondack was able to get that body in front, get a bit of a screen there on Cormier. Look at that right there, right in front of him. No chance to see that puck. It goes right past him to make it, at that point, 4-1 for Adirondack.
It's 4-1. Now, of course, the goalies have been, really sharp considering. I mean, none of these goals have been, really skilled goals. Or
I wouldn't call them highlight reel goals by any means.
Not, but we did have a save here we want to look at.
And Bill, this save here also brings us right back to that point about traffic in front of the net. I mean, just look at the bodies in front of the Adirondack goal there, and the Growlers come so close to scoring on this chance. Marcus Power with an excellent release. The Adirondack goalie able to make a great save on that play, but that brings us right back to our point of traffic in front of the net and what's leading to some of these scrums. But when the Growlers are able to get more traffic in front of the goalie, they're able to create more scoring chances and better opportunities.
As you saw, that puck took a wild bounce behind him, and he literally had to be a little acrobatic to make sure that didn't find its way in the back of the net.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Speaking of little bounces that we've seen here tonight, we were seeing a lot of that last night too, when it looks as if the defensemen are shooting way wide of the net, but it's quite intentional. They're looking for that pop off the backboard to pop right out front for another possible scoring chance.
Well, the Growlers did get back on the scoreboard, made it 4-2 with this goal.
And this, just an excellent goal from Mark Johnstone there. Drew the penalty on the play. ref's arm did go up right away there, and just look at that effort. For him to be able, falling down, to be able to get that puck to the backhand in that position and still find a way to put that one upstairs. Beautiful goal from Mark Johnstone, and a huge boost of energy we saw from the Growlers team after that one went in. 4-2 game heading into the third. Maybe not where you want to be on a Saturday night, but not a terrible position for this Newfoundland Growlers team, which we know scores in bunches.
They do, and we have a shot block, and you talk about wanting to play defense and putting your body on the line for the team. This is a great example of it.
Yeah, and this is local guy Nathan Knoll here again. Just look at that. Absolutely fearless, and you're seeing the effort from Nathan Knoll at both ends of the ice tonight in his Growlers home debut. He's really been putting in a great performance. He's getting a lot of trust from Coach Eric Wellwood, getting a lot of ice time, a lot of penalty kill time, and it's for reasons exactly like that, Bill. That's those kind of plays and those kind of shot blocks that help teams win games.
Yeah, Nathan Knoll, a welcome addition to this squad. A lot of new faces that we are seeing and fans are really getting acquainted with, and so far from what we've seen from them individually have been pretty good, but we are still down 2 goals as we look forward to a third period. We're going to take a little break here, and we'll be back momentarily here on the second intermission on Rogers TV.
Payments were going up, creditors were calling. I finally realized I needed help. The people at James & Noseworthy really took care of me, and I'm glad I chose a local solution. I felt like they understood me better. Getting help with my debt has given me the energy, the headspace, and the time to make my dreams come true. A chance to start again with knowledge, support, and people in your corner. Are you looking for that kind of help? It's okay.
Learn more about Leah's story at janesnoseworthy.ca.
If you want convenience, Marie's Money Mart is here for you. A one-stop shop for a variety of products, home-style breads, sandwiches, plus check out our freshly baked artisan breads and single-serve desserts exclusively at our in-store bakery on Frecker Drive. With 25 locations, wherever you go, there we are.
I'm Darren Hand. Please join me for Pocket Universe. On this show, we'll showcase artists, cosplayers, gamers, and discuss all topics of sci-fi, horror, and fantasy in Newfoundland and Labrador. This place is teeming with creative people who love to talk about their passion. That's Pocket Universe, Wednesdays, 8:30 p.m., only on Rogers TV.
Back to the second intermission. Bill Hart and Ben Murphy with you. Brian Rogers had a chance to chat with Eric Wellwood, the head coach of the Newfoundland Growlers. Let's listen in on that conversation.
I finally realized.
Hello, Growler fans, and welcome to Rogers Television for the Newfoundland Growlers homestand. I'm with head coach Eric Wellwood of the Newfoundland Growlers. That has a sweet ring to it, does it not, Mr. Wellwood? Welcome to the Rock as you carry on the family legacy here in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Apparently, yeah. Really excited to be here and extremely enjoying my time. My wife and I, it's been, seems like a home away from home for us, so great opportunity and really happy to be here.
Well, Eric, it's a pleasure to have you for sure. And when I think back of Kyle lighting the lamp 5 times on November 30th against Ryan Clough and the Cleveland Sharks way back then in 2004, it seems like it was yesterday, but it wasn't.
No, it certainly wasn't. We're dating ourselves, aren't we?
I know.
No, obviously Kyle had a special career here. I know just from walking around town, people come up to me and tell me some of the stories that they had with Kyle. So it's obviously he had a huge impact on this community, and obviously with his hockey, that speaks for itself.
Well, he certainly had the fans out of their seats at Mile One Center on many occasions for sure. Tell me about the initial contact with the Toronto Maple Leafs organization and knowing that this was opening up for you and your family.
Yeah, it was a fairly quick process, which doesn't really happen too much in this industry. I think, especially during the summertime, these processes when you're looking for a job and interviewing for a job, they can last weeks and sometimes in the long end months. But I got contacted fairly quickly. I think within 2 days, my wife and I made our decision. We've already known so much about St. John's and the Growlers and themselves. It was a no-brainer. We instantly jumped on it, and we're happy everything worked out this way.
Eric, you're very young, son. I got to be honest with you. I look around at some of your players, and I'm saying, my goodness, you could probably skate down in between some of them or on the wing or whatever. But you're a really young coach. But that has to be exciting too, knowing that there's so much in the future. And I'm just wondering if you have any goals set
or are you just happy to be here and get this thing started?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. Obviously, I'm only 31 years old, but I've been coaching now for 8 years. I had a career-ending injury, which obviously forced me to, do something different. But I wanted to stay in hockey, and I don't have any aspirations. People ask me often, am I trying to get to the NHL, and I'm just enjoying today. I when you almost die like I did, I think you just take day by day, and you don't know what the future's bringing, and I'm not even going to look into that. I can't control it. So I'm enjoying my time here, and hopefully we have success here this year.
I'm sure you will. You get off to a great start, of course, on the road, away in Trois-Rivières and down to Glens Falls. And the irony, I couldn't help but think about you as a former Adirondack fan. I remember calling many games of the AHL in Glens Falls, dating back to the first year, and you were a player the last time I had seen you. But just enlighten us a little bit of what happened, not too deep, but just what happened that led to you obviously becoming a coach and not a player.
Yeah, so it was just, very harmless play. I was killing a penalty against Bridgeport in Bridgeport, and I went into the boards, and my other skate essentially cut my ankle off. I cut 4 tendons, including my Achilles. I cut a nerve, and then the ultimate thing was I cut an artery. So at that point, your time's ticking at that point. So luckily I had some great trainers around. The ambulance was on it right away. We were able to tie the artery off, so obviously saved my life at that point. We tried to come back to rehab. Obviously, when you have that traumatic of an injury, I was given a 70% chance of walking again, let alone playing. So I'm just happy to be here, and life's good.
Well, that is an endearing story, and it brings home to light Zachary Redmond, a former member of the St. John's Ice Caps, and through something very similar. The hockey gods are on your side, Willie. You won't forget that one, bro. Right. You had great mentorship, though. DJ Smith, the head coach of the Ottawa Senators, a dear friend, and enlightening himself to everybody in Newfoundland and Labrador as the head coach of the Sens, but lots of Newfoundland connections too. Tell me about how much influence DJ had on you, because he is a beauty on and off the ice.
He certainly is. You can't overstate that. A tremendous impact, and not just from a coaching standpoint. Since I was 16, he's from Windsor as well as I am, and when I was drafted to the Windsor Spitfires in the OHL, he took me under his wing, taught me what it takes to be an NHL pro, off the ice especially, with the workouts. And then while I was playing for him, I think he was on my side the most. I think there's some times where I was up for trades and he kind of tried to kibosh it, and he did. And we got to work together in Oshawa and win a Memorial Cup in my first year coaching. Yes. So and we still play golf together often when we're back home in Windsor. So great person, somebody that I'm really fortunate to have in my life. And those are the things. These are the people. You never get here by yourself. You always have good people around you, and obviously, he's a great person.
Dennis John Smith, one of a kind DJ. He tuned up a lot of guys on the ice here at Mile One Center and St. John's Memorial Stadium. Well, Eric, thank you so much for joining us on our broadcast this weekend. The irony of it, this beautiful building here in Conception Bay South will be the home of the Growlers for the first 6 games. I know you'll enjoy your stay out here. It's not too far from downtown, but when things get back to normal, we'll catch up with you again. But good luck this weekend, and I certainly wish you nothing but the best success as a member of the Growlers. Welcome to the family, bro.
Yeah, thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
With head coach Eric Wellwood of the Newfoundland Growlers, I'm Brian Rogers. Now let's go back to the desk.
All right, I'm not saying Eric Wellwood looks young, but I'm pretty sure I paid him $5 to shovel my driveway last winter. I'm pretty sure. Great conversation with Brian Rogers. Thanks a lot so much. Good seeing you back here again, buddy. All right, so it's the second intermission with Bill Hart and Ben Murphy. Going to take a little quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to answer the question that everybody here at the CBS Arena has been asking: where is Buddy the Puffin? We know where he is, and we'll tell you next here on Rogers TV.
Interest payments were going up. Creditors were calling. I finally realized I needed help. The people at James & Noseworthy really took care of me, and I'm glad I chose a local solution. I felt like they understood me better. Getting help with my debt has given me the energy, the headspace, and the time to make my dreams come true. A chance to start again with knowledge, support, and people in your corner. Are you looking for that kind of help? It's okay.
Learn more about Leah's story at janesnoseworthy.ca.
If you want convenience, Marie's Money Mart is here for you. A one-stop shop for a variety of products, home-style breads, sandwiches, plus check out our freshly baked artisan breads and single-serve desserts exclusively at our in-store bakery on Frecker Drive. With 25 locations, wherever you go, there we are.
I'm Darren Han. Please join me for Pocket Universe. On this show, we'll showcase artists, cosplayers, gamers, and discuss all topics of sci-fi, horror, and fantasy in Newfoundland and Labrador. This place is teeming with creative people who love to talk about their passion. That's Pocket Universe, Wednesdays, 8:30 p.m., only on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the second intermission. Bill Hart and Ben Dropkick Murphy with you. And you made a good comment about Eric Wellwood, not the first Wellwood to be involved in professional hockey in this province.
No, certainly not. Eric Wellwood, the brother of former St. John's Maple Leaf and Toronto Maple Leaf, Kyle Wellwood, which is a name for Leafs fans that rings pretty familiar. And Eric Wellwood had a playing career of his own.
Yes,
he was
did.
drafted by the Philadelphia Flyers in the NHL, and now has found his way back and following his brother's roots here in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador.
Well, we're very happy to have him behind the bench with our Newfoundland Growlers. A welcome addition to the coaching squad. A great staff as it is already. So yesterday, of course, was the home opener of the Newfoundland Growlers, a very successful one at that, and the fans were very happy. But the one question they had yesterday, and again today, something was missing amongst all the festivities and the fun that you usually experience at a Newfoundland Growlers game. Where is Buddy the Puffin? Well, we're here to tell you, he
Now,
hasn't
Bill,
left.
This just in. We are hearing that Buddy the Puffin will, in fact, be back here at the CBS Arena for next weekend's set of games. So we are expecting a Buddy the Puffin sighting by next Friday night here in Conception Bay South.
He's going to love it here. I don't think he's ever been down this way in a long time.
No, but he is taking care of some birthday parties over this weekend. Of course, there were some schedule changes to make all this possible here this weekend, so Buddy's been filling in for some birthday parties, doing a tremendous job.
That's right. So, I mean, it's just one of the ways that Buddy the Puffin has stepped up for his fans, because when kids were planning these birthday parties, you know, they were supposed to happen at the Mary Brown Center. Because of recent events, they had to move them, but kudos to the Newfoundland Growlers for remaining dedicated to their fans and saying, oh no, we're not canceling these birthday parties for these kids. These are our fans, so they moved them to another location.
Yeah, the rec room.
The rec room. And Buddy the Puffin made it perfectly clear, well, as clear as you can with a Puffin that doesn't really use words to communicate, that he's not missing any of these child days.
No, it's such a team effort from all hands. You know, Bill, when you talk about the Newfoundland Growlers, of course the folks here at Rogers, it's town of Conception Bay South. It took a lot of work from a lot of fans to make this happen this weekend, and thrilled to be sitting here.
Absolutely. I also want to say happy birthday to Jack Sampson, one of the fans here at the CBS Arena, apparently not at his birthday party because they're at a Growlers game.
Not a bad trade.
I'm telling you, that gift better be big for Jack, I'll tell you what. But yeah, now we're going into the third period, and here we are down by 2 goals. Now we've seen what the Growlers are doing so far. What do they have to do to get back into this? Because really what they've been doing has been working, just a lot of unlucky breaks.
Simple hockey. Simple hockey, Bill. That's what's going to win this game for the Newfoundland Growlers. That's what Adirondack has been doing from start to finish. I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. This Adirondack team is not going to beat the Newfoundland Growlers with skill or speed.
Right.
They're just not going to do it. No. They're going to beat the Growlers through simple hockey. Pucks deep, pucks at the net, lots of traffic in front of the goalie. That's what we've been seeing so far tonight. It's working. We're starting to see a little bit more of that from the Growlers there in the second period. I expect to see a lot more of that. I would imagine Coach Wellwood had a pretty strong message for that group. They want to go to 6-0.
Yes.
You know, they want to win here tonight. They've been in this position before, down 4-2. 2 goals going into the third period. It's a task, but it's not an impossible one for this Growlers team. We know how offensively powerful they are, and they score in bunches.
Well, ask any coach at any level. A 2-goal lead is the worst lead to have in hockey.
Absolutely. It all comes down to a good start from this Growlers team here in the third period. They need to come out flying. They need to get bodies in front of the Adirondack goalie, and good things will happen.
All right, let's throw it to Chris Ballard and Kellyanne Roberts for the start of the third period on Rogers TV.
Low, midway through the second. If they hadn't have gotten that second goal, I don't know if there would be any energy in this team at this point.
I ran into Zach O'Brien's father during the intermission break, and well, how you doing? And you could see a little bit of stress on his face for the Growlers heading into this third period. But hey, nonetheless, it's going to be a good one. So we have Zach O'Brien to take this face-off. Not normally does Zach take the draw, but he was able to pull that one away. But Garasso takes it back for Adirondack as this third period is underway. Adirondack, that's Chukarov, forced back in his own zone. Watching him is Marcus Power as Adirondack into the offensive end, and that's off his stick. And out of play, so 4 seconds to go on the Johnstone minor. And then 7 seconds of power play time. And then right back to 5-a-side where the Growlers will have to dig in to come away with a couple of goals here.
With that face-off taking place to the glove side of Cormier, you're really going to see the puck probably be flipped out center ice in 4 seconds, if not under that, so that Johnson can maybe get a jump on it.
Well, they might get that chance as Gordy Green skates it away, but he's ahead of Johnstone. Good-looking opportunity coming in. Oh, and a side door play, trying to center it there for Green. That one got blocked away. We're back to 5-a-side. Here comes LeBerge. Chizowski, blocker stopped there. Rebound collected, and Chizowski, a second try, is stopped and held by Mittens. So for the first time tonight, Growlers now have the edge on the shot clock, 25-23, and it's this pace that we'll need to see throughout the remaining 19-21 here.
Oh, absolutely. Growlers already throwing more pucks on net and from angles that we haven't seen tonight. So I'm not saying it's desperate moves, but definitely, looking to just pepper Mittens at this point and find some bodies up front.
Face-off won by Newfoundland. There's a rolling puck fired on net by Johnson over the cage. Into the air, and landed. Centazzo was pinned and couldn't come away with it. Good active stick by Skirving, and he'll force a turnover. Johnson centers, Skirving, save made, rebound. Oh, and another save by Mittens. He has stolen a couple away from the Growlers tonight. Maybe he'll end up being the difference maker in this one as the Growlers pick it back up inside their own zone. Just over a minute gone in the period. Feels like we've already played 5 or so with the chances this team has had. The Growlers able to get it in deep, no icing. Another good stick there by Skirving, but can't come away with this one. Here come the Thunder over the line, rolling it into the right wing corner. Centazzo's going to get to that one with ease. Handing it off to James Melindy. He'll flip pass into the air. One bounce that hopped just out of the reach of Todd Skirving and cleared away back in his own end by MacArthur. 27-23 are the shots for Adirondack, and here comes Peter MacArthur lumbering in over the line. Oh, drilled into the boards was Kaplan by O'Brien. Well, O'Brien means business when he's out there throwing the body like we just saw. Back in their own zone, Palmer Wolf.
I think he's been getting to feel the frustration that a lot of them out there right now are, but looks like things are clicking a lot better already in this period than they did through the majority of the second.
A solid opening 2 minutes, but still a 2-goal deficit here. Knifed in deep by O'Brien. That unit heads off for a change. Out of his cage to play it is Mittens. All the way to center, and that's going to be sent in. A rolling backhand in on goal, guided away. And quickly trying to move it up was Kapchek. Lost control of it, but it does end up back in neutral ice. Adirondacks Thompson. Left-hand side, a high riser over the cage, off the end boards. Gordy Green. Flip pass, that one comes away for Kapchek. Kapchek pushes it ahead. Chizowski, he's tripped up, penalty coming up to the Adirondack Thunder with 17:22 remaining in the third, and every minute that passes and every power play the Growlers earn, they become more and more important.
Absolutely, we've already seen that percentage slowly creep its way up on the power play. Last game, I think at the beginning it was just 5%, for the end we saw it go to 7. Right now, it's looking at about 10%, so not where they want it to be for sure, but like you said, it just feels like they haven't found the combination yet there, and looking like we're trying something new out there once again right now. Johnson really coming to the back, and he's got such a good shooting percentage, it's not surprising to see him on the back end for this power play.
Knuckled out of the zone by the Thunder to start this penalty kill. Growlers 1 for 4 in the man advantage tonight. And here comes Riley McCourt, still looking for his first pro goal. That drop pass knocked away. Johnson couldn't pin LeBerge. So Centazzo had to race back and free it back up for Isaac Johnson, and he'll find Centazzo trying to catch Adirondack on a line change. That pass didn't connect. Flipped to open ice by Gordy Green, and that'll be cleared in by Mazza, right in on goal. Cormier leaves it, and Green starts it out again. Gordy Green to center, to his left for Chizowski. Some open ice, Chizowski leaves it up top again, McCourt. Chizowski left wing boards through the middle and touched back again. Good puck movement here is Johnson. Back for McCourt, he overskated it, left it behind. Back to neutral ice, McCourt goes to begin the setup yet again. Isaac Johnson starts it ahead, carries to center and lifts it in. Bobbled by the defender Chukarov under some pressure from Nathan Knoll. But Adirondack gets it, and that one launched the light to the ice. Cormier on a tee for Brennan Kapchak as he weaves his way forward. Tried to chip it by LeBerge, he blew a tire, now LeBerge in a partial odd man rush has a man open. What a recovery, two big saves by Evan Cormier. Now here come the Growlers. You gotta capitalize here. Nathan Knoll over the line, hands off to O'Brien. O'Brien, high slot, Power, what a move, hit on goal, he scores! Marcus Power, his first of the year, a power play goal, 15:40 to go. Listen to this crowd, down by one with plenty of time remaining.
Power looking with so much control there and taking his time, not too worried about being in the high slot, and the Thunder really letting him come through on there. Power not missing the opportunity on that after Cormier really keeping the guys in the game there with two quick shots short-handed from the Thunder. Two big saves, rebounds just being let out there as the Thunder had come in 2-on-1, but Marcus Power showing what he can do, and he's been itching for that one.
Great patience in front of the net by Marcus Power. I thought he was going to shoot after the first beautifully executed toe drag, but he showed even more patience than we knew he had. And now the Growlers buzzing in the offensive zone, looking for the equalizer. Skirving up top, leaves it back. Nice hard pass, lands for Gordy Green, knocked away by Adirondack. Power gets this hometown crowd on its feet. An all Newfoundland connection on the third Growler goal. Nathan Knoll and Zach O'Brien picking up the assists, and I don't know, anyone else find that super cool?
I would. I mean, it's nice to see those guys really clicking out there. You know, they've been itching for it. Nathan Knoll throwing his body around like crazy in this game.
Bafia through traffic, tried a shot that's blocked away, kept alive at the line, and lands for Johnson again. Spins away from a check. The Growlers have new life here. We're trailing 4-1 and have clawed their way back. It's 4-3 and a steal, and away comes Irvine for Adirondack on a partial break. Great recovery, good stick lift there by Johnson. The crowd appreciates the big effort here, and we have a penalty on the play.
Looking like Johnson's going to have to pay for that back check there. Great idea, though, you know, letting the defenseman take the puck and picking up the odd man coming back, but looking like he was a little heavy on his stick in doing so, and they're going to call him for hooking.
Well, the way that this game and this team has been this season for Newfoundland, shorthanded goal to tie the game, no problem for this team.
No, this team really knowing what they do well, and that's the penalty kill. It dropped a little bit there from the second period. I think it's clicking at about 93%, but 93%, that's still pretty good. I'd like that average.
Marcus Power at 420 from Zach O'Brien, and Nathan Knoll as that one has been played away. 4 seconds have elapsed on the Isaac Johnson minor penalty for hooking.
This is Power's first goal of the season, too, and Zach O'Brien continuing to do what he does, and that's setting his teammates up for success. He's second on the team, well, he's tied now on the team for points, and they're all but one of them are, yeah, all but one are assists.
And Zach's only goal is an empty netter. Not, they all count the same, but he'll be the first one to tell you that, yeah, I gotta score a real one here. Peter MacArthur starts to set it up for Adirondack. There's a drive right into the guts of Cormier, no rebound.
The Growlers really shifting back to your typical penalty kill here, seeing that box structure a lot more. Nathan Knoll there on the top right of it. Usually what we have been seeing is a very aggressive penalty kill on the puck, 3 Growlers, but not the case from what we saw right there. But Zach O'Brien will switch out for Nathan Knoll.
Face off for Chizowski. Good clean win. They're going to redo it. .144 remains on the Isaac Johnson minor. High drama here in the third period. The Growlers showing some bite here in the later stages.
Looks like they got a bit of their intensity back there, and they're really starting to click. Those passes don't look like they're struggling as much as they were. They're a lot crisper. The patience is back, and we saw that with Marcus Power coming through the slot there. Like you said, he easily could have let that go 5 seconds, 20 seconds.
Oh, I know I would have. I was basically screaming for him to shoot when he had the first chance, but he made the most of his opportunity. Great block in front by Hoffenmeyer. Still lots of time left on this Adirondack power play side door. That'll be cleared to the line, held in. Good skating there by Chizowski with a sweeping poke check miss. So Thompson across, one-timer. That one missed the cage. MacArthur gloved it down, sends it back up top for a high riser again. Off the backboards, they score. Cormier can't catch a break. Off the backboards, off Cormier's backside and into the cage behind him. It's a 5-3 Adirondack lead, and it's kind of been that night, hasn't it?
Oh, 100%. I mean, no one wanted that, and I think Cormier knew it as soon as it was off the glass behind him there. I think he felt that coming and tried to recover for it, and so did Hoffenmeyer by getting into the net, but wasn't quite enough. Net coming off, but the puck going in before it was fully off its mark. So still counting it as a goal. The Growlers no longer down a man, so going back to some 5-on-5 hockey, but down 2 goals.
So if that's Blake Thompson's goal, it'll be his second of the game. I believe he was the one who scored that floater earlier.
Yes.
So
it's been that kind of night for him.
Big night for Blake Thompson, a career night, I'm sure.
The puck's bouncing your way, it's bouncing your way.
Yep. It is Thompson's tally, so with 13 and a half minutes to play, well, the Growlers scored back-to-back earlier to make it close. They'll have to do it again here to try and force, well, their first overtime game perhaps of this season. Is a nice opportunity there for Centazzo, misses wide. Adirondack, the Thunder in their own zone. Trying to get out, chipped off the end boards and out of midair. Back in his own zone is McCourt. He's battling with Payne. Payne trying to spin away from McCourt. He stays with him. One-timer. Wide from Masonis. Rolled to the line. Snap down low. Behind the net it goes. Left wing side. McCourt's there. He'll body his man. Leaning in. Trying to rip the puck free. He was successful as Gordy Green. Trying to get it back now from Kapchek. Behind the net, moved ahead. There's Oren Centazzo. He'll look to start the rush with a great feed for Power. Lifted into the air, delayed offside. Is now a full-on offside with 12:34 remaining.
The Growlers here really going to have to start to make some quicker passes to get that puck out. We're struggling to really move it from below the crease line there. And now that first pass is usually very crucial for them, and the Growlers do a great job of it, whether it's to the side or up the middle, which, you know, doesn't tickle my fancy because it's a kind of a scary play, and one that I think everyone's always been taught not to do, but the Growlers doing a good job.
There are things in this world we cannot explain. Mysteries above and below. Forces that pull us together and draw us in. To bear witness as the natural world goes quietly into the night. Here, in our own backyard.
Get some reps in to be sure. 12:34 remains here. Chris Ballard and Kellyanne Roberts on the call here from Conception Bay South.
Todd Skirving going over, I think, trying to get in on the Thunder's game plan there, but
Gotta love that. He's played well tonight as
He
well.
has.
Worth noting,
Really
Todd
has.
Skirving has, he's been a little buzzsaw. Look at him. Battling already with Carrier. He seems to have been the bee in the bonnet of most Growlers tonight, Carrier. Growlers win the draw. Palmer low. That's sent in off the backboards. Todd Skirving almost able to pounce on that. Loose puck in the crease. Toward the line, out to center. 12:19 to go. Skirving back for Bafia and up into the skates of Johnson. He'll send it the rest of the way. Merrick's mittens out of his cage, so 5 goals now, the most the Growlers have allowed in a single game. I'm sure there will be notes taken away from this game, win or lose here.
Yeah, I don't think this is the kind of play that Eric Wellwood is too proud of his team for having. I think he expects a lot more from them.
That's one thing I really admire about the Growlers' new bench boss, Wellwood, is the bar that he sets for this club is as high as any I've ever seen. Like last night, you and I here were lauding the praises of the Growlers as they clear the zone for their all-round effort last night, and that sentiment was not matched by Eric Wellwood, who said, yeah, work to be done, but we got away with the game. It was basically, I'm paraphrasing,
got away with a 4-1 win.
Oh, a late hit there on Kapchak, and Marcus Power all up in the face of his man Thompson down along the right wing boards. A whistle with 11:20 left.
A lot more words exchanged in this game here, despite there being several 5-on-3s last night. It seems like no one's getting away without a message going back to their benches.
11:20 to go, 29-28 the shots for Adirondack.
Growlers winning that puck back, but just out of the reach of Riley McCourt.
Who has the puck now and hands it back across for Melindy. Melindy flipped ahead. Looking to golf that one in is Chizowski. Santazo would drive that one. A slow roller in on the stick and fought off by Mittens, but back to the line. McCourt holds it in. Down low again for Chizowski. Makes his way out in front. The pass blocked away and cleared by Adirondack. James Melindy in his own zone. Keeps it away from Irvine. Fills it back for McCourt. Gotta start advancing the puck with a little urgency out of their own zone. Here is McCourt, awfully patient in his own end. Chizowski danced over the line but left the puck behind the Growlers. Pomerleau was spun around right at center ice. The Thunder get it in. The Thunder have most assuredly simplified their game tonight, and they have simply been the better team through, 50 minutes of this contest.
I think they looked to complicate things a bit too much last night, and then the pace of the game really caught them. And tonight looking to control that rather than be on the receiving end of it.
Glove down by Pomerleau, but the Growlers turn it over. The Thunder have control, playing it back. Masonis with one hand on the stick. Isaac Johnson all over the forecheck, trying to get it back. That'll be cleared by the Thunder, and an icing is called. 9:52 remains here in the third period. 29 apiece are the shots, but it's a 5-3 Thunder game.
Shots a lot closer in this game, and I would say that the opportunities on the other end tonight, the Thunder are seeing a lot more of those than necessarily the Growlers have tonight. Last night, I think the shot clock really didn't show what was really translating on the ice, but here looking like Hoffenmeyer Kapchak back as the pairing on the D end. We haven't seen that really since midway through the second period.
Speaking of things we haven't seen in a while, I know we've been singing the praises of Nathan Knoll, earning that, let's say, promotion to the top unit. We have not said the name Ty Pelton-Bice all night.
Yeah, he was out there for part of the first period, but after that, I don't know if...
So the Growlers may have been down a forward this whole time. There's a shot attempt blocked and ends up back into neutral ice. I feel almost, here comes a chance.
I don't see him on the bench now.
Well, the Growlers perhaps down a forward here. Nathan Knoll doing his best to fill the gap, but 9:09 remains here in the Growlers trail by 2. LaBerge played it away from Santazo and ahead for Smith. He's in a one-on-one. Melindy, good poke check there. He's got him pinned behind the Growler cage. Melindy out muscles his man, works the puck to the point rather, held in front of the goal, and a lot of bounces, creating a lot of chances here for Adirondack.
The Growlers almost becoming a little too puck focused at this point. It doesn't seem like a lot of heads moving on a swivel like we had seen a few of the Thunder being able to creep down and behind now.
James Melindy out of his own zone, a heads-up pass. That connects Chizowski, partial 2-on-1, has an open look, he scores! Ryan Chizowski, what patience, what poise, and what a goal! still down by one with 8:22 to go.
No Growler coming through the slot is really rushing. They're seeing that they have the time, they've got the opportunity, and so they're making the Thunder pay for it. That's twice now. Marcus Power doing essentially the exact same thing at the beginning of this period.
That's a great observation. They're giving the Growlers the slot, and again, we've talked about the depth of this hockey club, and they're going to make you pay on opportunities like that. What a rip by Ryan Chizowski.
Just a great heads-up play there, seeing that both bodies were pulling defenders, and so he had the slot to go with it.
Well, it's kind of strap yourselves in, folks. Get yourself another Pepsi product, because we have not played our final moments of this game just yet. Mazza, that drive is wide off the end boards, and Growlers once again have that buzz in their step, but can they capitalize on another opportunity? That's the question.
They keep closing that scoring gap, but every single time they do, the Thunder seem to find their groove again, so Growlers looking to not let that happen.
Third of the year for Ryan Chizowski. Second of the game, there's Johnstone. Tried to find Skirving in the slot, that's broken up. James Melindy picking up a helper as well. So for Miller, that's his first point of the season on a pretty big goal. Marcus Power leaves it in the corner. The Growlers are buzzing here. Power looks up top and just barely missed. Oh, right wing boards cleared away by Adirondack. Skate to stick, and Kapchek reels it in. Brennan Kapchek, 5-4 Adirondack in the final half of the third period. And in comes O'Brien. Top of the circle, across, open look, and a slapper goes wide. A heavy shot there by Nathan Knoll. He wants his first goal as a Growler, and he wants it now.
Zach O'Brien looking to really just set up his teammates. He wasn't even looking for the shot there, seeing so many bodies.
Under 7 minutes to go, Nathan Knoll carries in, left it behind, taken by the Thunder, but held in by McCourt. Left wing boards, Knoll freed up, sent up top, kept by Melindy. The slot's there, his shot off the shaft of the stick of Mittens, and cleared away by Adirondack just to center. Nathan Knoll back for Melindy. Knoll heads off for a change. Melindy trying to see the ice here.
The Thunder really shifting their game, playing a lot more defensively. Usually you'd see them right on Melindy there on that aggression.
Cleared in by Newfoundland. Mittens out of his cage. He's been beaten 4 times on 31 shots here. And the Growlers steal it. There's Gordy Green carrying into the offensive end. He's got Centazzo. Cross ice to Chizowski. Chizowski fakes the shot. Gets it back to McCourt. Across to Bafia. His shot off the blocker. Rebound comes away. Bafia gets it right back. Another try, this one into the midsection. No rebound, but an offensive zone draw with under 6 minutes to go.
Bafia, great line of sight there, really looking for that far side, and it looked like it was open, but Mittens may be able to track it just a little too well there.
And a timeout on the ice. 5:53 remains here in the period. Maybe some of the best hockey we've seen out of the Growlers this season.
And we're here, and do not turn off your TV sets. Do not leave yet, because this game is not over.
This one's going to come right down to the wire, Bill. 5-4 here right now. The Growlers, they pulled within one early on in the third, gave up another one to go back down by 2. A beautiful goal from Ryan Chizowski there just before this TV timeout. That's his second of the night.
Yes, it is.
Growlers down by 1.
Oh, man. This is what Newfoundland Growlers hockey is all about, and this is what the fans are all excited about. Here at the CBS Arena, full house, and I'm telling you, you can hear the sound of the roar of the crowd of that last goal all the way in Port aux Basques. If they tie it up, I'm telling you, the folks in the mainland are going to be opening up their eyes going, what the heck was that?
The roof is going to blow off this place. And it's been all Growlers these last few minutes, yes. Bill. You can really see the energy from the bench. You can feel it here in the building. The fans, yes. Everybody has really picked up. The Growlers are really starting to get the puck moving. They're getting lots of shots at the net, lots of opportunities. It almost feels like it's only a matter of time before they tie this thing up. It's going to be a great finish, a great last 6 minutes.
Strap yourself in. We're in for one heck of a ride as we continue with the third period. We'll throw it back now to Chris Ballard and Kellyanne Roberts on Rogers TV.
A little bit, but it was a hot dog that was delivered to me via a cannon.
That's really cool.
Isn't that the best thing you've ever heard?
Yeah.
Face off, we're back underway. Kapchek leaves it. Skirving, oh no! And now LeBerge out on a partial break on a missed pass. LeBerge, great D by Todd Skirving. Breaking up a partial breakaway. Gets it to the line and out.
That's the hustle that the Growlers, have been looking for, and definitely Skirving delivering on that, not letting that opportunity go to the Thunder easily, and definitely keeping that
tripped up Hoffenmeyer, trying to call his own penalty there. No call, and the whistle may be away for the rest of this one, and now it's a 2-on-1 back for Adirondack. Rivera scores. Way too much room on that glove hand side of Cormier. 5:14 to go here in this one. That might be the dagger.
And if there wasn't too much room there, Smith was open on his own on the far side there, as I believe it was Hoffenmeyer went down to try to block that shot, but in doing that, leaving Smith wide open.
So that's going to send a handful of fans to the exits here, unfortunately.
Feels like every time the Growlers start to get their momentum back and start to look like they've got some control, the Thunder remind them that they did have a 4-1 lead at one point.
That's a fact. Down by 2 again here. The Adirondack Thunder continue to find another gear, staying with the Growlers and keeping them at bay.
High-scoring game.
Yeah, very much so. Well, the Growlers' scoring average will at least remain the same. 4 goals a game is going to win you a lot of hockey games. Might not win you this one.
No.
Well, it won't. That's a fact. It will not.
Currently, no.
Lifted in by Newfoundland. We'll keep an eye on Cormier for you. Sent in toward the cage. That one blocked, and now here come away the Thunder 4 wide. In offside looking to me, but lifted over the net. Growlers battling. O'Brien trying to get away, but it's muscled back in by the Thunder. This has been their best game of the 3 that these teams have played thus far this season. Adirondack, let's give marks where they're due. Isaac blocked, MacArthur scores. Oh, I thought that was a water bottle popper.
The outside of the net.
It did indeed pop the water bottle, but well, good. Glad to be wrong from time to time.
Especially in this situation.
McCourt behind his net, 4:20 to go. Hands it off to James Melindy. Melindy through the middle for Cordy Green. Green hands off to the left wing side. That's Chizowski looking for the hat trick. Chizowski to the line. He's muscled out over by Long, but he'll get the puck back. 4 minutes to go. The Growlers need a pair here. They scored 2 already in the period, but Adirondack, they've added one of their own to keep the Growlers at bay, and in comes Melindy. His shot, huge rebound, let out by Mittens, clear to the line and out.
That's those second efforts that we're seeing now.
Hoffenmeyer hit up high by MacArthur. No call there as Oren Centazzo. Oh, he is taking a hit up high there. He's checking for blood as the Growlers put one on goal. Centazzo, his bucket half off his head, and there goes Cormier. There's a shot wide of the cage. Back out in front, Melindy's there, trying to wrap it around, and he can't tuck it underneath the goal pad. Still loose in the corner. 3:15 to go in the third, and the net's knocked off.
It's been a while since we've seen the net knocked off. And,
yeah, it's been a period.
Growlers really looking just to try to get the puck out front there. I know Melindy coming down low. He's been doing it a lot more this game, and we saw it especially in the first, coming down the right side, looking for that pass to come across. But here going even deeper, trying to get that puck out front and on net. Looks like Nathan Knoll exchanging some more words.
The net will remain empty.
Looking like a timeout call here.
You are correct. 33 shots now for Newfoundland. That's 10 already here in the third period. 7 in the frame for Adirondack. Well, that last goal was Rivera, his 4th, from Ryan Smith at 14:46. Just over 3 minutes after the Chizowski goal that reignited the crowd here in Conception Bay South.
Growlers here now with that extra man out. They're going to have to determine to do something right off the face-off to try to get that puck in front of Mittens and just go hard to the net. And if I'm air quote, that's what I'm saying anyways. I'm not sure what he's saying over there, but if I was making the call, it's likely what I would be doing.
Well, on the ice, he's got Zach O'Brien, Marcus Power, Brennan Kapchek, Noel Hoffenmeyer, Mark Johnstone, which I like, and Nathan Knoll.
Nathan Knoll going in for the face-off there with the Growlers lining up 2 on the outside.
Knoll on the draw. Puck is loose. It rolled toward the front of the cage. It's blocked away. They're going to try for the empty net. That one ends up into the corner, and that'll be an icing.
Kapchak really booking it back there. He doesn't want to let that clock tick down any more than it has to.
Still time remaining, especially if the Growlers can connect here. Well, the good news is they've scored a power play goal tonight. They've taken some steps. The Growlers have been improving their power play, but 6 goals allowed. They might need another power play hit to cut into the deficit.
Don't think the ref's whistle is coming out unless it's something that's very delayed.
Gap check into the air, knocked down by O'Brien, rolling puck. He's got it. O'Brien along the left wing board, down low behind the net. Jumping in was power, but he couldn't get to it. It's cleared away. Hoffenmeyer hustles back, no icing as the puck dies about 6 inches from the goal line. 2:40 to go. The Growlers need 2. And they're going to leave it for Brennan Kapchak. Flipped ahead. Cross ice for O'Brien. He sneaks in toward the cage. Backhand. Loose. And it's cleared. That'll miss. Look at the hustle on Hoffenmeyer trying to get back to get the icing. 2:23 remaining.
O'Brien really coming in there. Almost felt like he probably should have let that one go just a little bit earlier. Instead, all the bodies in front collapsing straight into the crease. So nothing was sliding in down low. You really had to go up high for that one.
Face-off coming to the left of Merrick Smitten. Same unit on the ice for Newfoundland. Nathan Knoll to take the draw. It's in his skates. It comes away for Kapchak cleanly through traffic. That one stopped by Mittens. He did not see that puck. Hoffenmeyer rolling puck. He'll bat that one into the right wing corner. Johnstone leaves it. That's Knoll. Up top for Hoffenmeyer. 2:05 remaining in the third period. The Growlers still need 2. Kapchak. Hoffenmeyer off the end boards, corrals it, leaves it back to O'Brien. Hoffenmeyer shot, that one knocked down. No shot on goal. Clearing attempt successful, and Hoffenmeyer again. He'll have to hustle back, but the Growlers running out of time here. 1:47 remaining here in the third.
Bit of a higher shot that I think Hoffenmeyer would have liked to get off there. Typically something that high up, this many players on the ice, it's not getting too far. It's just gonna hurt.
New line out there for the Growlers. Tazo, McCourt, Pomerleau. Let's see, Green, Chizowski, and lifted away by the Thunder. This one just wide. And another icing as Pomerleau back to touch it up.
McCourt and Pomerleau really sitting on the back end of this one, but it looks like Zach O'Brien coming back out.
He'll take the place of Orenson Tazo. He only needed a couple of seconds.
Oh, that's it. And not surprising for, you know, a guy who was a playoff MVP and is able to move the puck so smoothly and control and not desperate for the goal.
Face off one, fired wide by Isaac Johnson. Jumping in to try to keep it alive is O'Brien. He's knocked head over heels, almost in the right wing corner. Johnson has it. A little bit of patience for Gordy Green. They'll battle in the corner, O'Brien. He'll find some room. Passed out, and that's off a body. All kinds of room to shoot for there, but $1:20 to go. The Growlers still have it on the offensive end. Pomerleau looks for a lane, finds McCourt instead. McCourt doing the same thing. He'll hand it into the high slot, gets it back from Gordy Green. Cross ice, Johnson had to shoot, and that's blocked by Thompson. He's looking for the hat trick. It'll be kept by Green. Into the slot, freed up with a minute to go. Pomerleau back down low for Chizowski. Up top, there's his try. That one off a stick and over the cage. McCourt. His pass stolen by Masonis. Into the air with a backhand. Glove down by McCourt. Across Gordy Green. 40 seconds left in the third period. Green over the line onside. Rolled into the right wing corner. Chizowski battling hard. Back to the line. Green for Hoffenmeyer. Hoffenmeyer, left hand, face-off, not Kapchak. Skates in, unable to come away with it, gets to the line and out, not far enough for an icing. Good wheels by Gordy Green here. He'll play it behind the net. 16 seconds to go. Robbie Payne throws a shoulder check, and Gordy Green hits center ice. Maybe time for one for Nathan Knowles. Slapper, knocked down, big rebound. But it looks like the Growlers are gonna run out of time here tonight. The buzzer goes. A 5-0 start is ancient history. The Growlers suffering their first defeat of the season. This one at the hands of the Adirondack Thunder. 6-4, but lots of positives to take away from this game if you're Newfoundland. The offensive effort was there in spurts, but definitely a test of consistency perhaps lies ahead for tomorrow.
I think that's exactly what Eric Melville's going to be looking for, is more consistency from his team overall. I mean, all over the ice. You know, we saw some passes just not making their way where they should be, and it just felt like the urgency wasn't there to begin with. We saw bits of it, but again, not consistent enough throughout the game. The Thunder, however, finding a different gear than we saw from them last night, so props where props due.
Absolutely, 6 goals compared to the one they scored a night ago. That certainly, I mean, that's the difference right there. They had a little extra something going on the offensive end, had a few bounces go their way, the one off the end. No way for you to stop that. No. There was that change-up flutter puck that beat Cormier as well. Not his fault in the least.
No, and when the puck's bouncing your way, it's bouncing your way, and that's exactly what happened for the Thunder here tonight. You know, of course, they're gonna, the Growlers will get their.
All right, so they're just about to announce the 3 stars, so we're just gonna wait a few seconds here. We're gonna throw it right now to those 3 stars. Okay, we're gonna listen in as they make that announcement. We'll be back in just a moment.
Absolutely, he was throwing his body around out there. He wasn't letting anything go to the Thunder easily.
Picked up his 3rd and 4th goals of the season. He got a pair. He's the 2nd star. Ryan Chizowski is the 2nd star.
Not surprising. He really had, that was a nice goal he had. It really re-injected some life into the team, into the fans, but wasn't just quite enough.
And Blake Thompson, a career game, a pair of goals, and I know he doesn't score a ton of them. I mean, hey, good for him. Back for the Growlers, final shot.
All right, there are your 3 stars. So number 3 from Adirondack.
Nick Rivera. Had a good game tonight. He really made his presence known all over the ice. He was on the score sheet. A great game from Nick Rivera.
And Chikowski, of course, from the Newfoundland Growlers, 2 goals tonight. And Thompson, the first star of the evening.
Yeah.
So here it is, the first loss of the Newfoundland Growlers season. They now are 5-1. The Adirondack Thunder just winning their 2nd game of the season. It's one of those games where, despite the score, 6-4, Evan Cormier, the goalie for the Growlers, really not at fault for this one, because, I mean, I only saw really 1 goal where maybe he wished he could have had that back.
Yeah, and that was the very last one we saw there at the end, Bill. You're absolutely right. This loss is definitely not on Evan Cormier. And, you know, it's not one that I think the Growlers should really beat themselves up over too much. You know, it was a 6-4 loss. It really wasn't a 6-4 game in a lot of ways. I mean, you know, it really was back and forth pretty much from start to finish. But Adirondack was able to get that little bit of a gap, and the Growlers just weren't able to overcome it.
Well, kudos on the Adirondack goalie Minton, who stopped 34 of 35 shots. Well, actually, a little less than that. My math was way off there. 31 of 35 shots that the Newfoundland Growlers took today. Let's take some highlights here from the 3rd period, and it all starts with some goals.
Yeah, and it was Marcus Power who kicked off the scoring for the Newfoundland Growlers there in the 3rd period, and it was a beautiful goal, too. He picked up a pass from Zach O'Brien, the connection we were looking to see all night. It was good to see them pick up one. Hopefully they'll continue and find that success on Sunday, but just look at that move from Marcus Power there to slip through those 2 guys. Still manages to get a shot off through that traffic. Puts the Growlers on the board.
Nathan Knoll getting the assist on that one. Did a lot of work leading up to that goal as well, so kudos on him. Just when we pulled within 1, the Thunder made it a 2-goal lead again.
Yeah, and it was another, you know, one of those traffic goals with the lots of bodies in front of the net. Bounce up and around, puck drops in the net. That one's just a terribly unlucky goal. You see the puck go right up in the air. Cormier loses sight of it. We've seen that kind of goal so many times. Hits his back, rolls in. Not really much anybody can do in that situation.
And, well, the Newfoundland Growlers showing no signs of quit, pulled within 1 on this one.
And another beautiful goal from Ryan Chizowski here as well, Bill. He was I had a great night. 2 goals tonight. Just the patience on that one to be able to wait it out, and then drag Mittens out of the net just a little bit there to fire it past him. A beautiful goal from Ryan Chizowski, a great celebration there too.
Yeah.
And you really felt the energy in this place pick up, but unfortunately the Thunder were able to grab another one.
That's right, and that's the highlight right here, restoring that 2-goal lead on this one.
And Bill, we were saying, I think this might be the only one that Cormier wishes he could have really had back. Well, I'm sure he wishes he could have had them all back tonight,
Yes.
but the one that, he probably wishes, I maybe should have had that one. But another great shot there from Nick Rivera.
Yeah.
Once again, he was able to find the opening and made no mistake.
There was a lot of empty net there to shoot to, so it's
Very
like it
much so.
made it very grabby. So there you go. The final tonight is 6-4 for the Adirondack Thunder. These two teams, and a chippy affair it was tonight, are meeting again tomorrow afternoon. We have a 4 p.m. start. And you're going to be joining Chris Ballard on the broadcast tomorrow.
Yes, I will. I will be up doing some color commentary tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, so thank you so much for tuning in tonight on behalf of myself and Ben Murphy. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon on Rogers TV.
going up, creditors were calling. I finally realized I needed help. The people at Janes & Noseworthy really took care of me, and I'm glad I chose a local solution. I felt like they understood me better. Getting help with my debt has given me the energy, the headspace, and the time to make my dreams come true. A chance to start again with knowledge, support, and people in your corner. Are you looking for that kind of help? It's okay.
Learn more about Leah's story at janesnoseworthy.ca.
Hello everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Out of the Fog. I am your guest host, Laura Bell-Umba. I'm the Fund Development Coordinator with the Canadian Mental Health Association of Newfoundland and Labrador. I sit on the board of the St. John's Women's Council, and I'm also an active member of the Anti-Racism Coalition of Newfoundland and Labrador. Tonight, we'll be having an in-depth conversation about mental health within our province. I'll be joined by three amazing guests: Bailey Reid from CMHA, Newfoundland and Labrador, Dr. Janine Hubbard from the Association of Psychology in Newfoundland and Labrador, and Brad Glynn, the Executive Director of Channel. So sit back, relax, and join us for an enlightening conversation on mental health in our province.
You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
The best welterweight in the world, Kamaru Usman. I am the welterweight champ for a reason. I'm a problem. Covington. There's nowhere to run, and there's nowhere to hide. We're not losing. Thug Rose. That is a scary woman.
I'm the best.
Zhang Weili. She is a destroyer. Vicious power. If you are a fight fan, you have to watch that fight. Are you kidding me? I cannot wait. Get me to New York.
You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
And welcome back, everyone. We are now joined by Bailey Reid, the Manager of Public Policy and Engagement with the Canadian Mental Health Association of Newfoundland and Labrador. Bailey, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here, Laura Bell.
I'm so excited to have you on the couch with us today. So, do you mind telling us a little bit about what you do at CMHA and about the Public Reporting Project?
Right. So, my job is policy and public engagement. So, I do a lot of qualitative research. So a lot of the research on the mental health and addiction system here in the province is quantitative. So a lot of numbers. Okay. You know, how many people walked into the emergency room this year, you know, for a mental health concern, or how much it all cost. And while those are really, really important numbers, it doesn't give us that depth and richness of the data that, you know, we really need to know in order to make our mental health and addiction system better. So a big part of my position is doing qualitative data analysis and qualitative interviews. So meaning I talk to people. I talk to people from across the province about their experience using mental health and addiction services, whether they be good experiences or bad experiences or somewhere in between. And then I sort of compile that information and find, I guess, the major themes between what people are saying about their experiences. So that's a big part of my job, is the research aspect, but also the public engagement piece too. So, you know, I answer questions and queries from, you know, all across the province on mental health and addiction services. I kind of serve at times as, you know, a systems navigator, very similar to Barry Hewitt, who is our mental health and addiction systems navigator with Eastern Health. And yeah, I talk to people. I sit down and I listen to people. I don't provide any clinical counseling in this role, although I am a social worker. But in this role, I mainly just listen to people, listen to their stories, stories and help provide them with resource counseling and how to get to the next place or the next step to, achieve the help and support that it is they're seeking.
Okay. So we know CMHA recently published a public report project called Embracing Our Experiences. Do you mind telling me a little bit about what that was and what kind of led to that?
Right. So Embracing Experiences is the first independent public report on the mental health and addiction system here in the province. So previously we had Toward Recovery come out from the government. So the government was reviewing its own mental health and addiction system. And while that was great and Towards Recovery did some very foundationally important work, I think they came out with some 50 to 70 recommendations on system change. Embracing Experiences and the Canadian Mental Health Association want to complement that work by, reporting on the progress of those recommendations that Toward Recovery came out with in 2017 and figuring out, how far we've gone with some of those recommendations and how far yet we need to go. So it's very much a complementary work to the government, although it is independent of the government. CMHA staff are going out. We're interviewing people across the province, like I said, talking to them about their experiences, and then putting all that together in a report form with some major themes. So just to tell you, I guess, the 4 major themes of the report that came out when we did it were access and navigation. So, people's issues with accessing mental health services and then navigating them once they're within the system. The second major theme was continuity. So continuity in care being like streamlined services, being relationships and relationship building and continuous relationship building with healthcare providers. Aftercare was talked about a lot in that theme as well. The third was proactive versus reactive services. So a lot of folks want to see more proactive mental health services rather than the reactive crisis-oriented mental health services. We need more proactive services in order to prevent crises from happening in the first place, instead of just reacting to it after the fact. And then the final theme that came through in this report and the 40 interviews we did with people across the province was confidence in the system. A lot of people have lost their confidence in healthcare providers and in the system as a whole, that they're going to be able to support and help them. While some people did talk about very positive experiences with their healthcare providers, with their psychiatrists, a lot of people talked about, not totally trusting, the medications that they were prescribed, being prescribed medications that they may have been allergic to, lack of relationship building and communication between themselves and, the professional helping them or working for them. And a lot of people attributed, who actually had good experiences with the system, they attributed it to luck, which was a very interesting finding.
Perfect. So we know when you did that report, you found that there wasn't a lot of buy-in from the BIPOC community. So what would you guys like to see happen in the future to better support that community?
Right. So a major limitation of the report was that the majority of people who signed up were, white, relatively wealthy, relatively privileged individuals. We did have a number of people from the 2S LGBTQ community, which we were very happy to see, but unfortunately, we didn't get as many Black, Indigenous, or people of color involved in the study, and that's definitely a limitation. And if we know anything by now, we know that racism is institutionalized, microaggressions happen every day, especially within systems and healthcare systems, and ultimately, if white privileged folks are experiencing these issues with the system, not feeling like they're not believed for their mental health concerns, et cetera, then certainly folks from the Black, Indigenous, and people of color populations and communities are experiencing that even at a deeper level, because racism can be very entrenched into those healthcare systems and the mental health care system. So, like I said, of course, if privileged white folks are experiencing this, then there has to be a deeper level that Black folks are experiencing this or Indigenous folks are experiencing this. So we need to talk to them, and we need to build better relationships with these communities in Newfoundland and Labrador. The Canadian Mental Health Association wants to build relationships with these communities here so that we can, build that trust and do these interviews and hear their stories, and then, of course, use them to make system changes and transformation.
So if people were looking to get in contact with you to kind of share their experiences and they were interested in the next stage of the public reporting project, what would they need to do?
They just need to contact me at my CMHA email, which is breid@cmhanl.ca, or they can call me. My number is 683-1848, and I'm available from 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. And we can have a discussion about, their interest in the report. We also go through confidentiality with people, the risks and the benefits of participation. And, we go through a lot of ethical processes to make sure that, people are fully aware of what they're signing up for.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining me, and stay tuned to see our next guest.
It all started when I racked up some serious debt. Interest payments were going up, creditors were calling. Janes and Noseworthy came up with a plan. Knowing that the phone was going to stop ringing and that I was not in this alone was a huge relief. Bankruptcy or a consumer proposal or whatever help you get is not the end. It's just the beginning. A chance to start again with knowledge and support and people in your corner. Are you ready? Get out of debt. It's okay.
Learn more about Leah's story at janesnoseworthy.ca.
And welcome back, everyone. We are now joined by Dr. Janine Hubbard, the president of the Association of Psychology of Newfoundland and Labrador, who's also a registered psychologist. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Hubbard.
Thank you so much for having me here.
I'm so glad to have you. So we're going to be talking a little bit about men's mental health. As some of our viewers may or may not know, men are definitely dealing with a mental health crisis right now. We are losing 4 times more men to suicide than we are women. So what's going on in the world of men's mental health?
Oh boy, I'm so glad we're able to talk about it. And some of it is that men's mental health issues are often misidentified because they present very differently. When a woman is experiencing anxiety or depression, she's far more likely to express the classic signs, the sadness, the crying, the withdrawal, the loss of interest. Men's mental health often comes out in physical symptoms. Okay. So they're having more headaches, they're having issues with their gut or their digestive system, they're having pains. So they're far more likely, and first of all, they're far more likely not to get any kind of medical treatment for that. But then again, the focus is on the physical ailments. Not saying, actually, I lost my job and this is what's happened and this is how I'm feeling. So it's often takes a lot of digging to get to the, oh no, your feelings are coming out in very physical ways, but it's actually not an issue with your stomach, it's an issue with your mental health.
Okay, so men's mental health is presenting more in physical ailments than it is in what we're typically used to seeing in women.
For sure, and then the mental health presentation itself comes out differently. Okay. So it's far more likely to come out in things like irritability, impulsiveness. It's going to come out in things like use of alcohol and substance use. Okay. So it comes out, again, a little differently. You don't think of someone who is depressed or really anxious necessarily having it come out that way.
Okay. So then what do we do? What do we do to get the conversation started? What do we do to get men more open to talking about their mental health so they can take the steps to seek help?
Well, partly we talk about the fact that it exists and it's a massive problem. You're quite right. 75% of suicides last year in Canada were by men. That's roughly 50 men every week in this country.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of men, a lot of families.
We know that there are some surprising things. 10% of new fathers experience postpartum depression symptoms.
See,
and nobody ever talks about that.
No.
We have up to, I believe it's between kind of 15 and 35% of individuals with eating disorders are males.
See, we never get to see that.
We never talk about that piece of things. And so there isn't that openness or that acceptance. The other thing is our stats in terms of, for example, in BC, drug overdoses.
Okay.
Vast majority of individuals who died from a drug overdose were men.
Wow, see, that is absolutely alarming and astonishing.
It is really alarming, and that's why, like I say, I'm so glad we're talking about it. And some of it is simply making people aware of these stats. Some of it is the ongoing discussion we've been having around the, it's okay. There's no shame in, it's the, not weak. Okay. Messages. Those are super important to be having because, again, we really want to have that discussion happening. We know that throughout the pandemic, things like unemployment or just the change and shift in household environments, and in some cases, more people being home, a shift in those household responsibilities, but also just a shift in the amount of time being spent on things, again, has really increased, mental health issues for everybody, but again, it has looked a little bit different for men.
So what can we do to support the men in our lives once we create a space that they're talking about their mental health more openly and more often? Is there any advice you'd like to share?
Sure. And again, it's starting the conversation. What I would ask is, the women in their lives are pretty good about, trying to get it out. But if every man who was watching this evening or this morning, whenever it's airing, reached out to one male friend and said, hey, I just want to check in because I know this past year's been really rough. How you doing? That basic thing. And then from a more systemic issue, looking at the fact that men respond to different mental health treatments.
Okay.
So that many of them don't necessarily respond to kind of a one-on-one, and let's face it, most of our mental health practitioners are women. We have found that in some cases, support groups can be really helpful. It takes a lot to get there, but once you get there, it happens. But there's some really interesting research looking at activity-based therapeutic programs. Okay. So, we go and we build something together. Oh. So it's a shared project, whether it's building a dory together, whether it's, helping on something, but that allows kind of that shared activity at the same time, kind of some open space to be having that dialogue. If you've got a friend or a buddy you're worried about, take them out fishing, take them out for a walk. Like sometimes it's that getting away from the household thing and doing something together, whether it's one-on-one or in a group, can really help to facilitate that conversation. So those of us in the mental health world really need to step back and kind of go, how are we offering services? And are we offering the services that are needed?
Okay. So getting people more engaged, reaching out to your friend, having that open space to have that safe one-on-one conversation is definitely more important for men to be doing these days. For sure. And for physicians to be starting to have the conversation of, you've had a lot of headaches, let's take that one step further. Okay. And have that really important conversation. So if there were any men watching who are listening tonight, what would be one thing they can do if they were making that steps to reach out? Should they call reach out to the Association of Psychology, or should they reach out to their doctors? What's the first step? Well, first thing to remember, and I always like to mention it, is there are suicide crisis lines. We have the mental health crisis line. We have the Doorways programs. There are a number of, we have the Channel Warm line. There are a number of ways to be seen quickly and urgently. And if you are ever feeling, in immediate suicidal distress, please present to your nearest emergency department because we know these numbers are serious. Yeah. And then beyond that, taking a look at Bridge the Gap. There's some options there. If you're comfortable with your family physician, that's a great place to start. APNL has a listing of psychologists that are out there. There are a listing of, mental health clinics throughout the province. I know I have some men who feel very uncomfortable, even in the face-to-face. Well, guess what? We're all doing virtual care these days. Sometimes that's an easier option. So figuring out what kind of option might work best. Okay. And then taking that step. Then taking the plunge. And sometimes you need a friend or a loved one or someone to make that initial call for you, and that's okay. That's fantastic. I'd love to thank you for taking the time to sit here with me and discuss such an important subject. You know, it's something that's affecting lots of men out there. So thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for covering such an important topic.
It's been fantastic. Thank you, and we'll be right back with our next guest.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
Welcome back, everyone. We are now joined by Brad Glynn, the Executive Director of Channel. Brad, thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me, Laura Bell.
I'm so glad to have you sitting in our seat. So if you don't mind telling people, in case our viewers don't know, what exactly is Channel?
Well, Channel is, first of all, it's a mental health and addiction organization. What makes us unique is we are run entirely by people with lived experience of mental health issues, mental illness, or substance use issues. So all our services are provided through the lens of a consumer, the lens of a peer, but ultimately the lens of someone with lived experience of those sorts of issues in their life.
Perfect. So when people are reaching out to Channel, they know the person on the other end is someone with lived experience who understands what path that they might be walking themselves.
Absolutely. And just like a clinician would have a role in someone's care, it's always nice to have someone who gets it and someone who can say, like, yeah, I've been there too, and affirming that our own stories are unique, but it's always nice to feel that connection. And when you're feeling isolated, knowing someone else gets what you're experiencing is so critical to providing hope.
Okay, perfect. So what kind of help exactly does Channel provide to people?
Well, we function in three main areas, but most of our frontline work is in peer support. Our most well-used offering is our provincial warm line, which we have in English and just recently in French. And basically that's open 13, 14 hours a day with trained, certified peer supporters so that someone can call in a pre-crisis stage to receive support, a conversation, to share their story and help find form in it, to find avenues for hope, and to find ways to get other supports within the community. So oftentimes we will refer people to other organizations, to the health authorities to find support. And on top of the warm line, we offer one-on-one sessions for our peers. We do groups, we do family groups, we do wellness workshops, so that there's a variety of ways people can find care as they're journeying through their recovery process.
Okay, so what can someone expect when they reach out to Channel for the first time?
The first thing they can expect is a listening ear. You know, I've got a psychologist, I've got a GP, I've got people who are part of my healthcare team, and oftentimes when I'm going to them, I'm looking for advice. I'm looking for a solution. But one of the foundational aspects of lived experience and peer support is that we have our own answers. We champion self-advocacy. We champion that idea that the care of a person should be person-centered, and therefore, if someone reaches out to Channel, that's the first thing they're going to receive. They're not going to find someone wanting to tell them what to do. They're going to find someone who supports them in constructing their own story and finding out what the next step may be. And usually those are immediate steps. Okay. You know, I'm in a place where I need something. What can I do to move out of this place where I may be stuck?
Okay. So the services Channel provides, are they centered within just the Avalon, or do we have services for everyone within the province?
We have services. We actually have staff from here to Happy Valley Goose Bay and almost everywhere in between. Our warm line is for anyone in Newfoundland and Labrador, of course. But all our services can be accessed. We have virtual groups, we have virtual family groups, and we have offices in St. John's, Mount Pearl, Marystown, Grand Falls, and Stephenville, and we have staff present in about 15 other communities working with regional health authorities to provide support to peers who may be more vulnerable or more marginalized in different ways in our society.
Okay, that's fantastic to know. So when people reach out to Channel, they're able to kind of access a variety of services. So there's the warm line they can call into if they're in a pre-crisis situation, but you do offer counseling and kind of one-on-one and family sessions, should that be what they need at that time.
Absolutely, and again, ours is always about that holistic idea of care. So if someone did enter into a crisis stage, we would stay and support them, but we would also redirect them to the other appropriate services, whether that be the crisis line if it was immediate, or to more holistic services in their health authority. But we understand that the warm line, although it's probably our most well-known service, is just one service, and particularly during the pandemic, there's a lot of isolation being experienced, and we've seen that on our warm line, that a one-on-one session, whether that be virtual, whether that be face-to-face, outside offering the context of peer support, is just providing connection. which we're all yearning for so much the past 20 months.
So we know Channel has been entrenched in our community for such a long time. What have you guys noticed as an organization as gaps that exist in the mental health services?
I think the biggest gap is long-term care for people with mental illness and more persistent substance use issues. You know, there's a lot of focus on mental health and wellness, and that is so important. And for the general population, that is what is needed to build a wellness strategy, to build self-care practices so that you can flourish and there is an elasticity to when you face a problem. But for someone with a more severe mental illness or a more persistent mental illness, they need a continuity of care, and of course, you know, wait times, you know, for psychiatrists, for psychologists, just oftentimes the prohibitive cost of some of these features if they're not covered by a healthcare provider often leaves those most marginalized out. So as we're improving as a society in leaps and bounds in supporting mental health and wellness and furthering the conversation, those often suffering the most damaging effects of mental illness are sometimes still being left out of those conversations. And it's important that they become part of that conversation, because if not, the problem could be society thinks it's doing a really great job. And it is for the 95%, but those 5% have such needs that need to be met, and we really owe it to support the most marginalized in our community in that way.
So we know the pandemic has had an impact on people's mental health, but what would you like to see moving forward for people's mental health and for Channel?
I think the first thing that I'd like to see is that this continued focus on mental health and wellness remains a part of the dialogue, because getting things out of the shadows is the first way to destigmatize. And I think Channel sees its role as championing the voice of lived experience and championing person-centered care, and the fact that people are at the middle of the decisions that are made, because I think it's really possible as we come out of a pandemic, as government and business makes decisions, that it will be easy to forget some of the lessons we've learned, and the promoting strong mental health, strengthening social supports, and ensuring that those who are marginalized, particularly through their mental illness, through their substance use issues, are still a part of the conversation, and that coming out of a pandemic, the tough decisions that are made include people with lived experience at the table, as we know how best to advocate for ourselves and advocate for what we need to flourish as we come out of the pandemic.
Well, I'd like to thank you so much for sitting down with me to have such an important conversation about mental health in our province.
Thanks so much for having me, Laura Bell.
And we'll be right back.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
Thank you so much to all our guests for joining us today to have a wonderful, in-depth conversation about mental health. We know mental health is something that's very important. We all have mental health, and it's something we all need to take care of. If you feel that you're having a crisis or you're having any kind of issues, please do not hesitate to reach out to the warm line. There'll always be someone on the other end willing to hear you out and have a conversation with you. I'd like to also thank Out of the Fog for having me as a guest host today. After 20 years in the community, you continue to make a great impact, and we'll see you again later.
About this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
This is Rogers TV.
Watching hockey just got a power play with NHL Center Ice and Super Sports Pack. With up to 37 out-of-market NHL games a week, you'll always catch your favorite team no matter where you live. Whether it's big matchups you're looking for or following your top fantasy picks, it's all here. NHL Center Ice, part of the Rogers Super Sports Pack. All this for only $35.95 a month. Order through your remote on Channel 450 or call 1-888-ROGERS-1 today.
I'm a singer-songwriter from Six Nations, and I've been writing songs about my experience, and with that being said, it's helped me hold hope in my heart in following my dreams and being resilient to everyday Indigenous battles.
Competition between spirit, earth, and wind, let me tell you now.
This song in particular, The Shiner, is a special song that I wrote for my grandfather. He was a snow snake maker, and that is a Haudenosaunee winter sport. It's my job to educate and to share, and the music allows me to do that.
He'll be shining snow snakes and mudcats to the end of his days.
This is Rogers TV. You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
Interest payments were going up, creditors were calling. I finally